everyone, welcome to the Arbarian, where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. Today we are doing some Era Die, but before we hop into our lovely announcements, first there's a sponsor. Ben, take it away.
All right, so we've got a new commercial. It's a little shorter. I was trying to think of a voice. That whole time.
King Candy from
Okay,
Wreck-It Ralph,
there we go.
which is a reference to an even older cartoon character.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. You're never too young or too old for life insurance. Planning for your future with Kate Woolman State Farm is easier than you think. Call Ben at 719-539-6265 and I'll set you up with everything along the way. 719-539-6265.
Don't you know?
That was good.
Does he say don't you know?
I mean,
No,
I
the
find
original
myself
cartoon did.
entertained with every one of these. Great job, Ben.
Amazing.
Thanks.
They are spectacular, every single one of them. I need to reset because
Your
these
wonderful
things
voice suggestions are half of it.
will- Good job, everyone. We're making Ben bring glory to these ad reads. Helping,
Ooh,
not
next
making.
time, next time,
helping.
idea for next time. This
Ooh.
might take some homework for you, Benjamin. The big huge glasses announcer guy for the Cubs that Will Ferrell imitates. Harry Carey.
Oh yeah, Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Harry Carey.
So homework for you.
What's your
Let's
favorite
continue.
planet?
Next song.
Mine's
All
the
right.
sun. Sorry.
Right, you got a week to research that character.
Oh, that guy.
Coming up this week. Let me just pop that down one more. Coming up this week. On Tuesday, we have... What do we have on Tuesday? Shenanigans. That's right.
Yes.
We did a Heroes Feast last Tuesday, so we have a Shenanigans this time round. What are we doing, Ben?
Is it time to switch?
I don't know. I feel like we might have one more week of Power World, but we also might be at that time.
Helldivers
Okay.
2.
Well, I wasn't thinking Helldivers 2, but we'll see, I guess. But yeah, we'll come up with something by Tuesday. So
Well, stay tuned then for that crazy excitement of we might be making pals and eating pals and building bases and such, or we might be diving into hell, or we might be going to a gate that people have been telling me I need to go to for a while. We'll see what happens.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, we might be going to a gate.
Yes.
Yeah. That happens on Tuesday at 8 p.m. This Thursday, there's nothing going on then. However, on Friday is the long-awaited starting of our Dune miniseries. The movie's coming out as well, so why not do a miniseries to celebrate?
Same day too.
Yeah, same day. Much earlier before ours, though. You can go do the midnight release and then come by and start watching the miniseries and see our rendition, which is a what
Here we go.
if. What if the Atreides were not given Arrakis, but a different house was given Arrakis? Let's find out what happens during that time frame. This Friday at 7 p.m. Starting then and going for probably about 4 hours or so. It's going to be a 4-part miniseries happening throughout the entire month of March. See you then for that gloriousness. After that, we have merch. We have lovely new designs and things that are coming out. The new one, the Brolog, Yol is an Abomination, is inside the store now on hoodies and such. And I see someone got their hoodie.
Oh, I haven't got it yet. It's taken like 12 days to get here.
Yeah, it
I
takes a
ordered it
while, so-
immediately.
You did,
He
yeah?
told me, immediately went to the website, bought. Still not here. It's supposed to come like on Tuesday.
Yeah. It's the convenience of the storefront we use, while also the inconvenience. It's print as order. Sorry. It'll take a while for shipping. The handling has to be done first.
But everyone get it. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. I think that's kind of really all my major announcements. next week's our anniversary. 3 years.
You are right. I almost forgot.
Wozer.
Wowzer indeed. We might do something fun for that. Who knows, I might award you all with another random chunk of, I almost said level, but I've already leveled you up twice in a month, so...
What's one more?
What's one more?
Give to us as a treat, you know?
Have a treat. Okay, well, I think that's it for announcements. I think it's time to go
Make
to
some
the
friends?
archipelago. Yeah, let's make some friends.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods. If not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And a lovely random little story at the end there. Last week, on Chronicles of Nathriel, the Hand had some revelations with some thoughts on the sunburn torch and what it really is and detailings to it. Started their journey to Yondo, decided to go in, forgot about Mark, left Yondo and barricaded it so no one else could go in, discovering that the primordial of agony is inside, taking the memories of other people and feeding off of them. Deciding to deal with it another day, they have sailed around and moved into the archipelago. Something I already skipped over is the fact that Julian has joined them all and given them the details of what are the consequences behind Schnozboop's midnight mission. They are now banned from the Savoth Dominion, barred from taking contracts in it, and Schnozboop has a bounty on his head from the Savoth Dominion. There we go. Had to reset my vocal cords. They also all had laid out all of the bounties on all of their heads, ranging into a total, I do believe, of 195,000 gold total.
Oltian's was something crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Mine was a good 100 of that.
Oh no, it's 150 for Oltian, 100 for BT, 80 for Teffy because they believe that she's Zara, and then 15 for Schnozboop. So you put all that together, you've got 345,000. Roughly. My math might be a little wrong there. It's a lot.
Pretty good in a couple of levels.
Yeah, not
I need
bad.
you all to come with me, please.
I need to get rich quick, so I'm going to turn you all in and then break out later. I hope that's okay. They
Boy,
are...
I wonder if we could do that.
Oh, I should not have said that as a joke. Now it's planted as an
I
idea.
wonder if we could do that.
That's my mistake. I did this to myself. Deal with that, future me. Future me's going to be cussing it past me.
I think the problem with that one is Ultian is dead only.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah. Dead
I
only.
can turn you guys in.
Yeah. We'd have to leave that one off and then break. Yeah. Well, it's not worth if he's dead.
Yeah. Break ties with Ultian for a while. Well, we'll leave that for a future thought as you're all entering into the archipelago with this random little paperweight that Teffy picked up, only to learn that it is actually a key to the Unknown's front door, their grand temple, hidden in the Knowing's Notch, in the mountains currently occupied by the Nork Empire. Having gone through a whole series of the entire crew gathered around Ultian listening for the clicks, getting a series of a certain number of them in place, and the captain finally having this thought, an idea, he comes over, takes it, puts in the word gnosis, or gnosis, or whatever it would be pronounced correctly, I don't know how to, and then pulls it open. And that is where we're going to start today, with him opening this thing.
Please say it's a big explosion. Please say it's a big explosion.
It's not.
Images of Nathriel remain forever in your memories. As we step into
Hey Hans, randomly. That was the wrong song. That just started playing randomly. But hey, that was for Thursday stuff.
Let us not
Well-
all forget who solved the puzzle. It was Captain Virus.
It opens. You have an opened cryptex in your hands, and everyone's looking around.
Ultian, you want to have a look at that?
Shoulders are shrugged, and I walk over and check it out.
I'll hand it over to Ultian.
One half is the part with the cylinder where you're moving those things around. The other half is the inside of the cylinder, but it's hollow inside.
Key? Is there a key there?
It's empty. There's nothing in it.
Investigation!
Oh, it's the dragon's crawl. Okay.
Snotswoop sees Ultian investigating, and he was like, "Do you believe in friendship?"
Is that a
Feel
D8?
inspired, Ultian.
Yeah.
That kind of helps me. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. It is some kind of metal. Hollow inside. One solid piece. No grooves, no rivets, no facets. You don't even see any tool marks for how these engravings around the outside of it were made. It's gorgeous. The fact that Teffy found this thing as a paperweight, whoa. Strange. Not even inside the bits with the spinny cylinder. Do you find anything? In fact, you don't even see a way to get the cylinders out. Usually there's something that's fastened them inside so you can rearrange the code if you want to. This, it's solid, one piece. These cylinders are fixed in there. No secret compartments, no hidden objects.
I'm going to take a look at both of the pieces.
Whilst he's doing that, Snotswoop would like to see if he can sense any arcane elements on it. Maybe a secret, an invisible key or something.
Okay, now normally you would need detect magic for something like that. If I do want to
Oh.
get away with a little bit of something, though. Like, Snorspoop, give me an Arcana check. Ultian, you're looking at them both together. What are you trying to do?
Trying to figure out if it is the key. Like, the entirety of the contraption itself is actually the key.
There is a possibility. I mean, the bit that came out could be maybe pushed into something else. You would need to see the door in order to be able to determine something like that fully.
17.
17. There's something about it that's arcane in nature, but it almost feels natural. You would need to cast a spell to learn any more.
Cool. Cool. Well,
I'm going to hand it to Teffy. since she's the one who found it. And I'm just gonna say,
No key.
Maybe Cinder has knowledge.
Maybe so. What do you mean, no key?
I show her.
Heffy stares at it. She holds it very close to her face and she just squints at it, kind of turning it for a long time. You can see she's considering what would happen if I licked this item. She's just trying to figure it out. Huh. No key. This is... She licks it now. What happens?
It tastes like metal.
Care to elaborate?
No, I can't.
Okay. Well, that didn't help. Odd. Well, if this thing was supposed to hold a key to get into a door, maybe we should just circle back to it whenever we've gotten to the door? She's still staring at it very closely, though.
Teffy, make a constitution saving throw.
Where did I put my dice? There they are.
That's a good question. Oh, I don't want to use these ones. These ones weren't treating me well on Friday.
On save, it's going to be 11.
11? The deck around you is shifting. You start to feel a little bit woozy. Incredibly seasick. Its deck is starting to spin now. And you can all see Teffy is wobbling. Like visibly wobbling.
He sits her ass down, crisscross applesauce.
Very also language.
Oh. She sits her tuchus down, crisscross applesauce.
Oh, are you all right?
I'm just watching.
Teffy?
I must say, I'm a bit queasy at this point. It's, I don't think a solid surface should be moving like a trampoline.
That's
full of
about where you're gonna
a
get
party of
with your
kids?
sentence.
Oh.
As it trails off and Teffy falls to a side.
Oh no.
Am I being punished for licking random objects?
Nah. Everyone else will come back to you.
Okay.
Teffy,
Another one.
for you, you feel the falling and see the world shifting as you're going sideways. You almost feel you hitting the side of the ship as you collapse to the ground fully, but then feel moving again, like you're sitting up straight. And you find yourself sitting up inside your home. So your old room.
Well, that's interesting.
There seems to be...
Am I still queasy?
No, you feel perfectly fine now. There's a lot of light around, but no source.
I get up and I start examining my room, admiring my collection of trinkets, and seeing if anything is changed necessarily.
There's all of your trinkets around, magnificent as they all are. There is one big difference you see. At first, starting with your door, the hinges are there, but there's no grooves around it, and when you try to open it, the door handle doesn't work like a door handle. Yeah, it doesn't open up. When you turn around and look out the window, bless you, there's no sky or environment outside of it, nothing but a black void. Do you have a writing desk usually in your room?
Technically yes, however, it's usually covered in plants.
In plants?
Yes.
There's a new plant. All the others have been kind of moved aside, and there's a plot. Plot? Pot.
There's a
Pot.
plot afoot.
There's a plot of plants. The plants, they're all plotting against you. There's a pot with a peculiar plant in it. I feel like it would maybe be a black rose. Let's start with that.
Without picking it up, I start like examining it from every possible angle, just moving my head around like a tripod. What sort of pot is it in?
It's just a clay pot.
What
Nothing
shape?
special. Cylindrical. Like the cheapest kind of clay pot you can find inside a store, IRL. That kind.
How big is the pot and how big is the plant?
I'm not going to answer that with specific dimensions because it doesn't matter
okay.
too much. Vague size. Typical size. Just imagine typical size. I don't know what a typical size would be for that.
Okay.
So I'm just letting your imagination fill in the blanks. So I don't have to give you specifics for every single little detail. Let your imagination fill in to a certain degree. Not too large to have only a single plant in here. Now, normally you know what roses grow on. They grow on bushes. This is just a single flower planted inside it, and it seems to be growing well enough. After allowing...
I'm judging the person, whoever did this.
Oh, feel free to. After examining it for a certain amount of time, the petals start to open, and inside is a piece of paper that unfolds itself just enough and says a single word on it. Hello.
Is it time for the not dreamers to act?
Not yet.
I'm
Okay.
just actively checking her pulse.
It's like beating back in Morse code.
Hello, I suppose. She's still peering around it, but now that it's open, she'll like start caressing the underside of the flower to kind of hold it steady. Just kind of peering into the very center of it.
As you look into the very center of it, you look at the words, the ink begins to bleed all together, moving through the page, not as though someone's scribbling it, as though it itself is alive in its motion. And it forms almost a scenic picture, like one of those line sketches someone would do of a landscape, using just one color. It's a river running in between the course of tall mountainsides. At the end of it, it ends with the slow trickling down of a mountain. And then the ink sort of bleeds into the paper, disappearing. Reforms to new words. You already knew that.
Yeah, I suppose I did. So, the concern right now is how are we supposed to make it to the location? Considering it's in the center of the Walk territory. Don't suppose you have any secret underground passageways
The
with all
ink
your roots reaching
shifts,
down?
changes to not my concern.
Fair enough, I suppose. Is this a warning or an invitation?
Reforms. Invitation.
Ooh. Exciting, mysterious. A journey to a dangerous land. Invited by a flower. Cool.
Now's the point where, Teffy, again, you feel that shift in your eyes. The world begins to spin once more. And you find yourself waking up with everyone around concerned. Right, the rest of you, what were you doing while Teffy was unconscious?
Well, Snozboop was going to suggest to Big Tin maybe give her a little shock.
To that, I would say, while checking her pulse,
Probably not the best idea.
Teffy kind of blinks a little bit, stretches her arms out, and pushes herself up off the floor. What's all this then?
Great question. I was hoping you could tell me.
I just had a funky little dream. We do need to head up to the Knowing's Notch. But it didn't necessarily tell me how to get there safely.
You're gonna have to start all the way from the beginning.
So we got queasy, got spinny, sat down, passed out as you saw. Woke up at home in my bedroom. And there was a new plant on my desk, and there was a very strangely growing sort of black rose there. It opened up. There was paper. And I think the Knowing had a conversation with me using the paper
quick.
as a conduit. Yours up.
That last time you said paper, you unknowingly just lifted your right hand with a piece of paper in it. Ultian, when you were checking her pulse, that piece of paper wasn't there.
Yeah, it was it was this one actually. That's different. Anyway, the ink was moving and living like in a spooky diary that we may have seen at some point. But I've been invited to the Knowing's Notch, which is, up that river between the mountains, heart of the Nork. It didn't specify whether we all were meant to go or whether it was just me. Because then I woke up and you guys were trying to electrocute me.
Does the piece of paper say anything now?
Completely
Teffy
blank.
looks at it.
Interesting.
So Teffy's the key.
Mayhaps. Regardless, it seems she should hold on to the key and potentially that piece of paper. As you may be perhaps the only one who can use either one, whichever it is. Or maybe Ultian is right and you yourself are the key, not that the cryptex has been opened. Just your presence alone, perhaps. I don't know. Regardless, you seem important to this situation, Teffy. Take care of yourself and these random items that you've discovered.
The whole time
Sounds
he
like
was
a plan.
doing that, right behind him was Philemon, making the same hand gestures and same motions and movements, just mimicking Schnorsboop the whole time.
I'm gonna have a chuckle about that. Teffy is going to get the piece of paper, tuck it in a pocket of her notebook, and get the cryptex gizmo, shove it back in her backpack. Alright, I'll hold on to these then. Yeah. So, we may need to reevaluate the order of events that we had settled on. What do we think? Should we reroute and head to the Knowing's Notch, or should we continue on to the archipelago?
Seems
We've
like
already
we're
made
here.
it this far. Exactly. We've already used enough resources on this mission. Doubling back now would just take us more time. See what we can find out here. As soon as we can. We leave.
Sounds like a plan then. I'll
Plus,
just...
I believe Julian was still going to be working on getting us assistance up the river from the
Yes.
king.
Yes,
So
I
that may
forgot
take
about
some
that,
time.
King. Alrighty then. Well, it's late-ish. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a bit tired. I'm gonna hit the sack.
I, on that note, am going to double check the cylinders in her hand and just make doubly sure that there's now not something in there.
There's nothing in any of them. They're the exact same way.
What will happen, actually, if someone else licks it? Because I did that, and then I got nauseous, and then the whole thing happened. Anyone else want to give it a try?
Snozboop will shrug and give it a lick.
Tastes like metal.
Or
Any
maybe
specific
not then.
kind of metal? Should I roll a survival check?
No. Nah. It just tastes like metal. I mean, you look at it and you think copper. It doesn't taste like copper. Maybe iron. It doesn't taste like iron. There's no metal you can identify it to. It just tastes like metal.
Well, with that, I leave.
You leaving? The crew going about their business? It is night time. A strange effect as you're walking through the corridors. This mist seems to even be enveloping around inside. Your vision is limited to 30 feet while you're inside the mist, everywhere you go.
I'm going to keep the, friendship party going. Philemon, me, Teffy, whoever wants else to join. Just keep the friendship rolling through this mist.
Rolling through the mist. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Right, well, you all retire for the night?
Got this little ship communicator thingy, right?
Yeah, you do, yeah.
So you'll hear over the little ship intercom, I guess. Anyone who wants to join Captain Virus and crew for dinner is welcome at our table.
Well, Snozboop, holding Philemon, says to Teffy, I like food. I'm going. You interested?
But I'm not necessarily going to have anything. I don't know. I'm still trying to regain my bearings after passing out. But I'll come with. I'll sit. I'll enjoy the camaraderie.
Very good. To the table.
To the table.
I am, whoa. My dog was underneath the table. I am going to clean off the area where I put that thing on my back. A lady of the night bath, if you will. To use a different word.
Oh. Right. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, yeah, you've got You've got that thing to attend to on your back. It's a little sore and stiff and rough. The protrusions into your skin, they're kind of healing around now. So you've got that lumping effect where the skin is now getting used to something inside of it. Remember, Teffy, he got this. Oh, you weren't here for that, right? You were gone. You know what? That'll just be funny. I'm just kidding. I'll tell you. He got a centipede thing attached to his spine made by Piggle to give him an action search capability. At a cost, but yeah, he got body modifications.
Like a Sandevistan.
Yeah. Yeah, you take care of that. Okay. And during dinner, you all get into the captain's quarters, and there's the captain and what's her name? Yolandria and Julian in there, along with the first mate. He's there too. And if BT's and therefore any of this stuff, he should be able to fit inside this area. Wherever you might be.
Okay. Well, if he can fit in there, I guess I'll just watch.
Join to watch. Nice.
Well, Captain, that was some keen thinking. The riddle earlier. Nice work. I'd never even heard of that word. Do you have any stories to tell amongst your travels?
Oh, yes. I could tell you the story of how I encountered that word, gnosis, or gnosis, or it's pronounced differently in different areas. But I was traveling, let's see, where was he? I don't want to get his actual details mixed up. When I was first serving on my first crew, I was taken to find a crew with Admiral Atanis. At that point, I was well on my way to seeing many exciting things. One of those along the way was a man studying in the ways of the Gnostics, he called them. I have not heard of them since, but I knew that word had to mean something of high importance. So it was in my vocabulary.
Very good. Excellent.
Yes. Have you encountered any strange words on your travels?
Strange words. Well, I'm not sure what it means, but the first word that came to me, Barbados.
I have not heard of such a word.
I mean, I'm not even sure I've heard of it, to be honest with you. It just came into my mind just now, but I don't know what it means. But it's a fun word to say. You have to admit, Barbados.
Have you tried saying it with magical intent?
Well, let me try. Barbados.
All of the forks and the cutlery on the table launch upward and hit the ceiling.
Well, I'd say you'd found your answer.
Well, isn't that an interesting word after all?
I would appreciate it if you kept it to a minimum. I only have so much silverware.
It all comes tumbling back to the table, and just as Schnozzboop's left, you can hear Philemon just giggling to himself.
Does Schnozzboop
Will
notice the giggling?
I be able to do an
You would,
insight check onto the nature of that?
You would, yeah. Give me an insight check.
Okay, because his insight's pretty high. Whether or not he'll reveal it, that'll be another. 18 plus 7, 25.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever this little creature is, he just did that.
I'll just smile knowingly to myself and say, you know, Schnozzboop, you're full of surprises.
Maybe an old man can learn new tricks.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
And Snob's just going to give a little wink over to Philemon.
As I'm sure you've seen, the power of friendship can take one to places unseen.
Oh, Captain, you have no idea. Philemon, tell him all about it.
We're on a quest of friendship. It's our mission.
A mission of friendship, you say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Snozpoop's going to hold out his fist for a little fist bump.
And chaos.
What is the end to this mission?
It is an end to itself, am I right, Philemon?
Destruction of all.
Whoa. Let's back that up. Back that up, Philemon. Not the
Sounds
destruction
less than
of all.
desirable.
The friendship of all.
Oh, I got that confused. The
With
friendship
potentially
of all.
some small destruction to non-sentience along the way.
Okay, yeah. I blew
I think
up
we
a
might need to
ship
clarify some details here.
for friendship.
For friendship. Teffy's in on it too, am I right, Teffy?
Teffy just nods.
So, how long have you been traveling with this little creature?
Philemon?
He's jumped into a ball of
yes.
soup now, and is now swimming around in it. Whee!
Oh, well, Philemon's... How long has it been? 2 weeks?
Something like
Can I do an
that.
insight check on Philemon?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to know what he is. Or at least Byrith wants to know what he is.
Give me a nature check, actually, instead. Nature or survival
Nature?
roll. Yeah.
We'll do a survival. That is a 22.
22. You're really not sure. You've never seen a creature like this before. I mean, even in all the places you've been throughout the entirety of the Andrea, and there are some strange creatures on the Northern Isles. You've been through a good chunk of Iridai at this point, and there's some real strange creatures in Iridai. This doesn't match any of them. It's strange. It talks, but it looks like a weird mix between a possum, raccoon, squirrel, koala. I mean, there's multiple different animals you can equate it to. But it's also brightly colored. Acts like childlike in many ways. Is very obviously magically adept, but yeah, there's nothing of your training has ever prepared you for something like that. The fact that it's just hanging out with this weird group. Yeah.
I think Byrith is going to use his class or his feature, Know Your Enemy.
Ooh.
He's going to observe Philemon for about a minute.
Okay.
He's going to learn a lot about Philemon.
While that's going by, how are you all conversing?
Byrith
Snozpoop
will be
is-
chugging food.
Feeling his age a bit more these days. And so it's a little bit... Huh?
I said percentile dice. Heart attack.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Give me a percentile dice. Sure, let's do it.
No, I forgot that was a thing.
Okay. 92.
Yeah, you're definitely feeling your age.
So he's going to sit. He's not going to initiate much as far as the conversation goes, outside of what he's already done. He'll wait to be initiated upon, if any.
Now, Captain Byrith will be eating and drinking merrily with his crew. This is a good night.
Eating and drinking merrily with the crew. Well, nothing is specific. Why don't you, Ben, read off what Know Your Enemy gets you or what that skill
Okay.
gets you in general.
So I can learn information about its capabilities, its strength score, dexterity score, constitution score, armor class, current HP, total class levels, if any, and fighter class levels, if any.
If any.
You
Okay.
just see the big red bar over there.
Yeah.
Over their heads.
Infographic pops up. Okay, let's go through one at a time. So find that list again and list off the first one to me.
I'm gonna write these
Be right back.
down.
Yeah.
Strength
Yeah.
score.
Strength score, he's got like an 8. Very, very weak. He's weak, much weaker than you.
Okay. Dexterity.
Dexterity, 24. Very big, very
Ooh,
strong, very dexterous.
24 dex.
Dexterous in that way. Capable in that way.
Constitution score.
Constitution. I think that ooh, was not prepared for this. 16 on that one. Fairly good constitution, but not the best.
Okay. What about its armor class?
Armor class, 23.
Oh, nice. Current HP.
Current HP, somewhere around the 360.
Okay. What is total class levels? Is that like the
Total class
the level
levels?
of their class?
That would be the level of its class, and you would be seeing it as it's over 20 epic levels. This is a legendary creature. This is where you would be recognizing this outclasses anything you've seen.
So Byrith is not going to let on all of this information, but he is definitely quite astounded that this creature is on his ship. In all his days in the military, I don't think he's seen quite something like Philemon.
No, the closest you would have come across would have been the one time you encountered the consequences and a few of their members, which were teetering on the edge of something great.
So I think really all that'll happen is he might choke on his drink a little bit, seeing the outrageous stats of Philemon, but will not. He's not gonna make a big deal about it or anything. So it's his ship. He's in control.
Quick question about this thing.
Quick answer.
If I had been in the room, would it have shown him all of the information
Not.
about me, or is it just surface level stuff?
It's just that surface level stuff.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not in here anyway, for the just in case.
Yeah, just surface level stuff for all that. Basically, everything I just told them is what he would be learning. He wouldn't be seeing too deep into stuff.
Gotcha.
Enough to maybe start deducing a few things with additional pieces of information, but it would be like receiving a third of the puzzle. You can piece together all that, but you won't have the full picture.
At least tells him this is no mere gesture.
Yeah, like Captain Beereth has no idea that this is a primordial. He just knows that it is a very powerful creature. Well, dinner time having gone by. Everyone retiring for the night, presumably.
As we go to finish, Snowswoop has a question for Yolandria.
Oh. She has, at the end of this, moved over towards the piano and started playing a song.
Well, Snowswoop will go up and stand beside while she's playing. Says, "You play quite well, Lieutenant.
Thanks.
Do you get that from your father?"
Oh. No, I get that from my mother. And Jasmine, which is someone who helped a lot in my younger years.
personal question, if you don't mind.
Only if I could ask one back.
Oh, yes, please.
Go for it.
Do you, not that you had any control over it, regret that your father is the voice of the gods?
I don't think it's a decision for me to regret. So I guess, no, I don't. Wasn't mine to make to begin with, so not mine to regret.
Very good.
Oh, I could ask you one.
Yes.
Do you regret joining the Messengers of Peace?
Do I regret joining the Messengers of Peace? No, I do not. Although I have come to believe that the elders of the Messengers of Peace are liars at best. I think my journey through that has still been good. I have made friends. I have still tried to convince people of nonviolence as a possible path. So, no, I do not regret it. Would you like to keep playing?
Sure. Why not?
Assuming that you have met any of the gods, are there any that you prefer?
Ooh. I like one of the lessers.
Now, just to be clear, I'm referring to those you have actually met.
Oh. Well, I haven't actually met any of them. They were locked up in their place way before I was born.
I thought maybe, considering your position, you might have had special access.
Oh, I've spoken to a few.
Oh. Well, we'll count speaking to as meeting.
Okay. In that case, I gotta go with Andre. Not really a known one, huh? He came out during the finalization of the last step, their return. One of the hidden ones, a byproduct, according to my father, from the wish that his friend made. He was technically part of their group, so he got to make one of his own, too.
Interesting. What is Andre's thing?
He's the god of the sea. Symbolizes freedom for me. Capability to choose wherever you want to go. And no one really knows him, so I find that cool.
Very hip.
Hip? Is that near a dive thing?
Perhaps. I'm not sure what it means exactly, but it's what the young people say. It's hip. That they do something, cool that no one else does.
Effie's gonna shake her head no whenever he's saying that this is what young people say.
She looks over at him like, okay. Alright, my turn. Let's see. If you could have a different Would you rather have spent out your final years with your wife at a home, living quietly?
If she hadn't passed, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I would. That would be my preference. To be in our little cottage with our little garden until the end. But this is a nice alternative.
Your definition of a nice alternative is the complete polar opposite. You know that, right?
Well, yes. There is only one Jay Reno, so... now that there isn't one, adventuring, seeing the world, and making friends is a nice alternative.
Well.
I do, though, wonder. Perhaps you can get it out of him. What my friend Ultian would say to that question. Although in his case it would be likely having parents.
Would be an interesting thought.
Yes. I think I'll go ask him right now. And Snowscoop's going to leave the room at that point and go find Ultian.
She's gonna stay there, playing the piano. Captain, you've got a weird group on your ship this time.
Taffy left with Snowspoop.
Captain.
Oh, that's fine. It's more of a passing comment. You all find each other again.
Sorry, I just received a sandwich.
Ooh.
Ooh,
What kind of bologna we got?
I do love sandwiches.
It's pretty good looking too. Look at that sandwich.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's a worthy distraction.
That's that
a worthy
Midwestern
distraction.
classic right there.
Yes, it
That's
is.
a Midwestern classic. Barbecue potato chips.
Heck yeah.
Pretty good. Sorry, what was that?
Oh no,
Was it
just
sandwich.
Leolandria making a passing comment of you've got a weird group on your deck or weird group on your ship this time.
I always seem to attract them. It's a good time.
Sure is.
Continue drinking.
As the men do as well. You others. Say everyone runs into each other, wherever you are. You are.
If I need to investigate to find Ultian,
It's a
I
small
rolled an
ship.
18.
Not very
I
hard
think I'm
to.
just in my room.
Yeah. Very tight quarters.
Well, so I will knock on the door and then go in. And say, Ultian, my friend.
I am butt naked.
Yeah.
But I have my back to you, so I'm gonna grab my mask real quick, pull it on, not putting any of the rest of my armor on. I'm going to turn around and say,
Did Teffy
Yeah, you-
join?
When you turn around, Ulti, and you
Yeah.
see Schnorsboop standing there with Taffy right behind.
As
You do realize that knocking means you have to wait for somebody to answer, right?
Wait, before that happens, as soon as he opens the door and sees, he is going to cast blindness on Teffy.
Oh, goodness.
You can feel free to. I don't know if you can say you want to fail or you can roll a con saving throw.
Teffy's so caught off guard by this that she does nothing except lightly smack the direction of Snozboop and say, "What the heck was that about?"
Oh, so you're just gonna accept? You're not gonna try to roll for it?
Nah.
Okay, cool. Just my apologies, Teffy. Ultian is unprepared for our presence. Why don't you wait outside?
You didn't wait for him to answer, you just knocked and opened it like a monster.
We're close friends.
Teffy, despite the fact that she can't see a thing right now, is just gonna blink skeptically in Snozboop's direction. Just trying to process that concept.
So Snozboop's going to step fully into the room, close the door, and then drop the concentration on the blinding. And then say to Ultian, who now continues to say something about knocking.
Just for reference, this is the angriest that I've looked with a mask on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain eye contact and sit down like that one scene in Oppenheimer with my legs crossed. And I'm going to go,
No. Go ahead. What did you need?
Very good. Had a question for you. Hypothetical in nature. Which was brought on by a very interesting conversation I was having with the lieutenant after dinner. If you could choose, would you choose how your life has gone, or your parents not dying and you not becoming Ultian and so on?
I'm going to ignore that question for a good minute while I get dressed. And then
Snozboop will wait patiently.
In the meantime, check out Secret Chat for the cool new meme I just made. It's directly there.
If I had it.
I'm surprised it wasn't made already. I had to make it.
That is pretty good.
It's Brolog walking into Yolondril and Eula all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a terrible question to ask someone, isn't it?
I was just asked it. It didn't seem terrible. Except it was my dead wife.
Yeah, so Teffy's just sat outside the door, being part of the conversation, despite the fact that she's not in there. The thing with your question, Snoz, was that you were already your own person by the time you got married. Ultians would directly change who he is as a person fundamentally from the very start.
His entire existence.
That's why it's an interesting question.
It's also a horrible one. Do you like who you are, or would you rather be someone totally different?
You can come inside, but
Is
yelling.
it safe? We don't want to be scarred.
Teffy is going to open the door and back into it and close the door, but still be facing the door.
Philemon's by your feet the whole time, mimicking your motions, backing in as well. Ultian, in your head you hear. I forgot this is a thing. I mean, I get understand the point of both of them, but it does feel kind of like a crappy question.
Why am I hearing this? Oh,
Who
yeah,
was
I
that?
remember now. I remember now from last
That
week.
was Cinder.
Never mind.
Cinder, just to Ultian.
I don't know, Snozboop.
But if you had to choose.
I don't regret anything. But I wouldn't go back. I wasn't me. My country wouldn't be nearing some sort of peace.
Very good. Thank you for that. An excellent answer, I think. Although, I think any answer you could have given me probably would be an excellent answer. It being so open-ended and 100% hypothetical. Very good. Well,
What was the point of this?
Curiosity, the knowing of one's friend. Mostly those two things. Do you have a question for me? I'm happy to answer it.
No.
Well, Snozboop will hand over the flagon he had been carrying this whole time to Ultian. A very excellent wine from the captain's table. And say, well, I hope you have an excellent evening. And Snozboop will leave and go back to the, friendship room.
Okay, so he's like that for everyone, not just me. Good to know.
I'm gonna stay up extra late now. And I'm just gonna be tinkering on stuff.
Okie dokie. As the night goes by, whenever sleepiness does finally take everyone.
No.
No, I mean, of course not you, actually. I was going to be moving over to you. As,
Okay.
something, is happening to you tonight.
Oh, no. I sleep.
There's... It could almost actually feel kind of like sleeping to a degree. But at some point you do see a notification that a memory unit has been recovered.
Is this... Which type of memory?
This is one
Something that just left from the island, or something that's deep archive?
something that's been there was there for a while, deep archive. But your inquiry through the island's information has dug up.
Okay.
Those journals you see, whenever you see them, the vision of them, have you seen... Okay, I'm going to bring out a movie reference in here. Have you seen The Mummy Returns? Whenever the kid has that bracelet on, and he sees those big old vision quest thingies, that's kind of like what the journal entries appear to for you. You just see this thing projected from your eyes, and suddenly there's a vision of a room in front of you with your creator.
Yep.
Once again, one appears, looking a little directly at you. Peculiar to which one has actually made it. Very good. Well, congratulations, you've made it far enough to be able to kick in a subroutine. Of course, you're not going to remember any of this, thanks to Agony and what they've done. Little help has made this place what it is. Oh, I should probably specify. This is a cleverly designed routine. It can actually reply to certain amounts of your inquiries. If ever you are curious about what it can or cannot say or answer, all you have to do is ask. If I cannot answer, a subroutine will come in and tell you I cannot answer that information. But now that you've reached this far, there are things you will need to know that have been purposefully omitted, for lack of better terms.
Is the oasis in Yondo?
Ah,
Being hidden by agony?
what is... Yondo is likely the name that you are calling it now. Yondo is not a term that has familiarity to it. If you are meaning an island off in the southern edges of what may be nothing but desert at this point, then you would be correct. Safeguarded by my old companion. Something born from me. I don't fully understand what they are, but apparently they can do some good.
How do you get through them in order to get to your lab?
Getting through agony, well, that is something that will be entirely up to them. We have agreed that they will allow a single unit through to the end. However, they tend to be a little temperamental. I would say discussion and conversation, however, they don't like either of those two, and you're not likely to remember what either of them would be in the end. However, you do have specific designs to safeguard yourself for that. The island itself will be a difficulty, though. Getting past them will be more a matter of trial and error. Know what they're after and try to find a weakness. They don't like mirrors. I've learnt that much.
Why did you create me?
For the betterment of the future. Nothing is retained during each time, from my understanding, and we need something that can be. The fickleness of the gods is not something we can retain our hope or faith in. The primordials have been at this for a while. That is what my research has shown. Part of it has come true through the creation of agony, though I don't know how I've done that. And I find myself in the latter parts of my existence, so exploration into the true answers behind all of this is not possible. So I created you as a chance to make it possible. We cannot bring an end to the start without knowing what it is. You are the key to us having a second chance.
Am I the only one?
I have made others. They all have the same basis, same understanding and premise to start. Where they go is up to them. I refuse to control another being in my days, so I will not have any control over you. There will be subroutines, of course, to seize a number of control for when it's needed. But it will never be an intent to harm, only the intent to further. And, to be honest, they're not things I think I'm putting in myself. Well, I am with my hands, but I don't remember when I do.
What is the most important thing for me to remember?
That my goals and my visions are not your life. You are your own creature and being. Should you truly choose to seek out the answers of the oasis, that is up to you. The most important thing for you to remember is that you control your own fate, no one else. Regarding this, though, no, I think that would even include regarding this. Ah, I appear to have reached a portion where no further general information is either conceivable or referable for now. I will remain as a subroutine for certain time frames. Of course, there will need to be some recharging. Whenever you seek another question for myself, let me know. It is organized in a way to answer other questions, however, not perfect. This is, after all, based off of information present, well, who knows how many years ago.
One final question then. What name do the primordials know you by?
They called me something different than everyone else. It is not my first name or the one I have chosen now. They call me the First, or the Finder. I don't know why. But I wish I did.
End of Corey.
It blinks out, and the vision of the front of the boat comes back into view with the stars above. Actually, no, there aren't any stars. It's just mist.
Well, that sucks. We just left there.
A place to never see.
Okay, I'll wait for morning.
Okay.
Talk to the rest of the group.
Oh, you're not the only one who gets something that happens to them this time round, Schnozbeep. It's your turn for now. For you, when you go to sleep, you wake up in that city. There's this strange...
Which city?
I'm forgetting what it's called. Lafrink. There we go. Took a moment for my brain to buffer. You wake up in Lafrink. It's night. You can see flashes of color around. Everything seems to be frozen in place. Standing just over you is Liam, looking a lot healthier than he has in the past. Smiles down on you and figured something out.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Just as around. I can show you at least a single sight. The moment it happened, right before I was turned into this. He helps you off the ground, takes you outside, and what you see around is the city square. All those grooves and those gashes in the ground, they aren't there right now. It's still, the buildings are intact. They're all in one piece. And there are a bunch of people around. Smiling, laughing, various different states. Someone spilling a drink on another person. It's all frozen again in space. As you're looking up, the fireworks having popped, gone off, sparks and shimmers all around. And just in the center is what you can tell to be the beginning of the fabric starting to tear. A portion in the middle of the town square, whenever you move around, it looks as though you've got a painting that's been shifted. So no matter what angle you're looking at, the left side of this tear looks up and the right side looks to be moved down. So like the picture of what you're seeing in your eyes is not perfect. This is right before. I don't know if it's important, but it's what I could put together.
Snozip will inspect the tear, the spot, to see if he can gain any more information about it, or what's on the other side of it.
Sure. Give me investigation or arcana check. Actually, it's a vision. You're not going to be able to do an arcana, unfortunately, on something like this through just pure memory. But give me an investigation check.
13.
13. Okay. There's not too much you'd be able to diverge more. The fact that the ground's not been grooved out tells you something else caused the grooves in the ground, those splits and tears in the city. Something separate from that. That second portion where you saw that the grooves emanate from, it's not there yet, hasn't been created. It's still off-center from where the tear is. When you're looking around though, there are a few facial features that come out, few of these people that pop out to you. First one is someone you know to be, what did I have them called? Peacekeepers? Master of Peace. Master of Peace Dentley Applewoods is standing around. You don't have his name on any of the sheets yet. That's the first time you would be getting this one. He is one of the elders. But it's not him that strikes your attention, it's the person he's talking to. Alan. Standing right next to him.
Like Alan from Peleus.
Alan from Peleus, yeah.
Interesting, okay.
There's another pair of people that also will strike your attention. Merely for the fact that when you're going around, no one's realizing or noticing this tear happening except for these two. They are the only two people amongst this crowd that are looking at the town center and have the facial features of something's going on and happening. Both of them strike you as beings that you've seen only once before. They both have completely blacked out eyes. One of them has a purple iris. The other one has, I believe hers are green. No, they're gold. Gold irises. And they have these two little children around them as well that are curious to why their parents are beginning to pull them away from the town center. They also have blacked out eyes. Purple iris on the little girl, gold irises on the boy. They have these facial facial markings. You've only seen this race once before, visited by a man you know to be blackmailing Altian. It's the Magus race. They're from Quayla.
So I have not seen. Have I seen these two specific people before?
No, these two only
Okay.
strike you as peculiar because they're reacting before this terror is even really visible to everyone.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if I can. I assume I can't. Can I try to interact with the spot tear?
Spot, it'll be the same like you interacting with anything else in here. Whenever you touch it, it like waves like a mist and then reforms. Just a vision, unfortunately.
And I look around. Are there any other elders about?
There are a few that you would recognize. Around just the town square, just two more. Two more that you'd recognize, but I don't have names for. Why don't you give us some names for these two randoms?
Let's see here. What'd you name this other guy?
Dentley Applewood.
Dentley Applewood. Okay. We'll go with Gregor. Pine Tree. And
Nice.
Bilius Winston.
Bilius Winston. I'm going to spell that as Windstone, but he's going to get very, very upset whenever someone says it as a Windstone, because it's Winston.
Perfect.
Excellent.
What did I name the first one?
Gregor Pinetree.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, very nice. Good job.
Okay. All right. Well, Liam, you've done a great job. But to be able to get this memory, is there anything else that I should be aware of?
You've found him again, and he's standing by what you know to be his the vision portion of what you know to be his wife and his family. And he's just watching the memory of the still image. I don't think so.
Very good. Should we leave then?
Yeah. Yeah, we should leave. He departs with you, goes back to the building. And you'll return to normal sleepy dreams for the rest of the night.
I'd like to do a couple things when I wake up, whenever that's time.
Yeah, alright. It's morning time.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to draw a very detailed drawing of the tear itself, as best I can with something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my time. I may miss breakfast, but yeah, I'm gonna be as detailed as I can with that.
Excellent. Okay. Taking your time, that's something your craftsmanship can easily do. Won't need any major checks in
Nice.
it. You've been doing this stuff for a while now.
And then after that, I would like to take some amount of time. We'll say more like 20 to 30 minutes drawing a picture of Liam and his family.
Okay, nice. Excellent. Wonderful picture of him and his family, and once you finish it, you hear him whisper, "Thank you."
Of course, my friend.
I'll put in a request that everybody meet up.
And there's a
The
knock on the door.
Hand, Julian, the Primordials on board.
And there is a knock on the door with a runner coming to you and saying, "BT would like to be speaking with a Hand and others. Schnozzboop, if you're, free and available."
Assuming I'm done with my drawings at that point, I will go immediately.
Sure. Let's go with that. Everyone meeting up
Yeah.
again.
JP, just
Yes.
make sure I got everything in order. What was my creator's original name?
The one that you provided me, but what the Primordials call him was something different.
Fine. And what's he currently go? Where did he go by? What did people still knew him then? He was. What's that corporation's name?
Altar.
Altar. Yeah, that's right. I'll wait for everybody to.
Everyone gathers up. Captain included, because his ship. That's the wrong one.
So, Big Ten, what's this about?
I unlocked some more memories and some more information. Some more pieces of the puzzle.
Do tell.
So, part 1, my creator's name was Thoth Carolinus when he was born in 2333. Which makes no sense to most of you because they're not even on that calendar anymore. How long ago? 2, I know where the oasis is. It's in Yondo. He made, and I look at Cinder and Phylum, he says, he made agony.
Made agony.
He created agony. He said the primordials called him the Finder, or the First.
It's already started. Your creator
Eventually-
started this?
I don't know. I guess so. What did he start? The cycle? The war? This round? I don't know. He's also looking for an end of the cycle. Eventually he became known as Altar.
If the Primordials already had a name for him, then there were others of us who already knew him. If he made agony, it is a possible way to do that.
Like, you know how they made me. Well, they don't really make me. They just trapped me.
And that was the same way I came around too. Well, on this run. You can be deliberate if you figure out enough. Bring them into a specific area. Sounds like whatever your creator did, he was in enough agony to bring agony to him.
Could be. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I've learned.
Huh.
There still is no good way of getting past agony. To get to the lab. But now at least we know where it's at. And why no one can ever remember it.
Huh. I get the irony now. The Oasis.
I also had a vision of sorts. My friend Liam remembered some things, and it was able to show me sort of a frozen picture of some of perhaps the final moment of the town of Lafrink. At this point, he'll take out the detailed picture of the tear thing. I believe this here is a tear in reality, or a tear in between planes, and something potentially the demony creatures came through it. There were 2 Magus present with their children, which is interesting considering that Magus are not from Erdai, as far as I'm aware, as well as several elders. I'm not sure, its relevance, but I thought I would bring it up in case others had pieces that would be helpful for.
Magus. What did they look like?
2 adults, 2 children, black eyes, purple gold irises.
Purple and gold. Was the purple on the male and the gold on the female?
Yes.
That would be the only 2 that make sense for this. Though I didn't know they were here. Julian speaking. He's looking at the tear picture. Eleanor was a Magus I was familiar with and knew during that time. She was announced as the head of foreign affairs for the Quailin Council. It would make sense that she is in a different continent, but not that she's here in Lafrink. That is not information I would have. Her husband is Valasor. He was an Eleud, retired after the War of Andrea. Peculiar. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from them ever since the date. I knew she was over here, but not that she was there. Interesting. The path of inquiry for me. Thank you, Schnosbu. Altian. Your feet. There's a very slight vibration that's new. It's not consistent, coming in vague pulses.
From this point forward, ignoring the rest of the conversation, investigation.
Investigation, give it to me.
Eyes are killing me right now for some reason.
The strange.
28.
28? Okay. About the time that you're realizing, Ulti and Captain Beereth, you're also having someone come running up next to you, whispering, Siri, there's something in the water. Ulti, and that feeling of vibration is also, there's a very slight scraping sound whenever you feel the vibration, but it sounds muted, like it's coming from water. It comes a little loud enough for everyone to hear this time, a scraping sound from under the boat.
Captain Byrith will get up and call all hands on deck.
Everyone starts running around on the deck. Scraping sounds gets louder, more consistent and frequent.
Does this vessel have like some kind of shielding activation or something like that, or is it just
No,
what it's
not
made
that kind of high tech.
metal?
Just metal on the bottom.
Okay.
It is, in fact, not a spaceship.
Yeah, unfortunately. It'd be pretty cool if it
Hey,
was.
this is a
But
land of magic. I
true,
don't know.
true.
I had to ask.
I'm laughing at the superior intellect.
Even more scraping comes from the bottom, and suddenly it becomes a consistent just.
I would stop.
Your boat's scraping on something. You've hit shallow waters for some reason, Captain.
All right,
Stopping
so
is probably a good idea.
okay, so we'll stop the boat. Stop the boat!
Ding ding! The rumbling of the engine stops, and the boat very quickly comes to a halt.
I'm going to look
Can we
over
get
the
out and
side.
investigate?
Okay, yeah, he's getting over to the side and looking over and investigating.
I'm watching how many people disappear over the side.
No one disappears over the side, but you do see some people just scratching their head, very confused, because when you look over, you see nothing but ocean. Altian, with your ridiculous investigation, though, about the ocean is reflecting the mist perfectly, to where only a couple of times do you glimpse the ground about 2 feet underneath the ocean surface.
Hmm.
And as you continue watching for a moment, it's about 1'10" now.
I am going to look at the captain. And I'm going to say, or I'm going to yell out to him. We're probably not right next to each other, but I'm going to yell out.
I don't think this is ground. I think we need to back up now.
All right, put the engines in reverse.
Full reverse! Ding ding! Engines going full reverse, water splashing in the back. The ship is no longer moving. It has been grounded.
Too late.
I am going to rappel myself down with my grappling gun to where I'm 15 feet above the top of the water.
Top of the water. You get down to 15 feet above the top of the water. It's not too far to rappel off the side of the ship. It's usually a very low-based one. It's maybe 1'8" now. It's still receding. You can see very...
Is the water moving in a direction?
It doesn't look to be moving in a direction, but as it's continuing to recede and you're getting a little closer, you're seeing that there are, in various locations, strange holes in the ground, perfect circles. and they're blotted around various places. There's land, very flat, plain rock surface underneath, with these strange holes all throughout this land that is quickly becoming apparent, as the water is now only 1.6 feet.
I'm gonna shoot at one of the holes with my hand crossbow.
Bolt disappears into the hole.
Okay, I'm gonna get back up to the deck, and I'm going to explain to the captain and everyone who can hear what I saw.
Bless you.
So the land is rising.
Tight.
We're losing water.
Mm-hmm.
At the bow of the ship, someone calls back, "Sir, I think I see a cabin in the water. No, but 30 feet ahead."
Did he
Cabin.
say cabin? Like cabin in the woods?
Yeah, like a cabin in the woods. I don't believe it either.
Does the
I'll go
captain
check it
have
out.
a telescope of his own to...
Yeah, when you pull out your little telescope, there, and sure enough, is a heavily damaged wooden cabin resting on a surface of ground that is just above the water surface. The water is now resting at an even foot and not receding anymore.
Well, we're pretty well beached. I don't know what our options are.
Throw a party.
I am currently
I
looking.
feel like that's a horrible idea.
Beach party.
Because this has an engine, this vessel we were on.
Mhm.
Can I assume that it doesn't have sails, or does it have sails for backup?
No sails of any kind. And it is,
Are
the
there
ship is
any?
very beached. Even if you had sails, it wouldn't even be moving.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I was looking for a way to swing all the way out to the portion
no.
of the ground that's
You would need to
surfaced.
fly.
Okay.
You would need to fly for that. There's nothing else around to be able to swing you 30 feet out. Good thought, though. Interesting thought.
Seeing Olkin's
Here's my second
mind,
question.
Snarsoop will tell him, "Hey, I think Yolandria can fly."
I was thinking more, and correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, the barrel of the guns. The barrels of the cannons, the twin cannons. Okay. If we move those into position, could I zip line, propel myself out to a glide 30 feet?
You can certainly try.
Oh boy.
Well, hearing what Snozboop said, I'm gonna reply.
Should have to take us one at a time.
Well, I thought you just maybe wanted to investigate before, making a move, and I thought that could be a helpful
To also
situation.
clarify maybe on the scenery around, the holes are maybe about 5 to 10 feet. No, we're not super consistent in them, but there is enough space on the ground for you to be walking without falling in any of the holes to the place. The
I don't
distance
trust them
to
holes.
it. Okay, don't trust them holes all you like, but you're overcomplicating a situation.
Am I though? Or am I just trying to be flashy?
Someone save us from him wasting of time then.
Let's see here. How far away from this cabin thing is it?
30 feet.
Are we? Oh, just 30 feet, huh?
From the bow.
Alright, I'm gonna try a little something. I'm gonna try the old plant growth to try to make a sort of path of greenery to the cabin.
Path of greenery. Okay, you cast the plant growth on the surfacey area, and it flumps out and just kind of sits still underneath all the water, but making the distance in between the ship and the cabin area difficult terrain underneath the water now.
That didn't go as planned.
I'm doing trajectory math in my head until somebody comes up with a better solution.
Well, I'm an old man. Snozswoop jumps over and starts walking through the plants. He'll take his time through the difficult terrain to see if they will protect himself from whatever is happening. And walk to this cabin.
Schnorsboop jumps over, you hear the splash. He's walking on the plant growth. It's a little difficult, but he's staying about only half a foot in because he's stepping on it. And he makes it over to the cabin.
Effie will also walk through the plants.
Nothing happens. Just
I
walks up.
begrudgingly walk through the plants.
You also walk through the plants.
Stays with the ship.
Stays with the ship. The captain looks, or that your first mate looks at you and like, it's boarding party. That's kind of your responsibility to join them, and I stay on the ship. Isn't that the case? You stick with the hand, and I stay on the ship. It's usually how
he
it goes.
begrudgingly leaves the ship.
BT,
Oh, sorry, I forgot I was muted. I said before I joined him.
oh,
Monkey.
okay. No, yeah, I didn't hear for the muting function.
It's my fault.
Very good. Walking through,
So,
getting up to the cabin. Yeah.
I seem to overtake Snozboop. If it makes a difference, I feel like I can overtake him because I have Earthwalk. So difficult terrain doesn't make a difference to me.
Magical difficult terrain. Does it even stop magical difficult terrain? Because this is magical difficult terrain.
Oh,
There is a
then I
difference
don't
between the two,
overtake
yeah.
Snozboop. I stay nicely behind him.
Yeah, you feel like you should be, but these things, it's not that the rocks are uneven and you're finding unstable surface. It's that these plants are literally trying to grab your feet and hold you while you're moving through them, making it more difficult to move. But you're staying drier as you're getting through this water.
Once I get to the door, I'll wait until Teffy and Ultian catch up, and then I'll say, I'm here to help. And cast Bless on the three of us. And then I'm going to knock on the door.
What does Blessed do?
Great question.
It's a D4, I think.
Yeah, whenever a target, so you in this case, makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, you can add a D4. You can roll a D4 and add that number any number of times, or for the, what is this, minute, assuming I don't lose concentration.
Cool.
For the minute. Okay, you are blessed. You are knocking
And that
on
was
the
at level
door.
1, in case that matters to you.
Excellent.
Levels only increase the amount of people that you could bless. I remember, because I was just a cleric.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm just gonna put some people in place here. You knock on the door. There is no answer or reply. It is molded over, very waterlogged, incredibly soggy and sodden. And
I'm going to wait 6 seconds. If there's no reply, I'm going to open the door.
put your hand on this barnacled door handle, twisted, and with a cracking snap sound, it releases and the door kind of sways open. And just inside is a bunch of broken down old furniture that's also... What do you... Stop telling me these functions that I don't want. Thank you. And there is a bunch of broken down furniture. Sorry about that interruption there. Roll20 was doing something weird to me. But in the center, an immaculate, perfect looking console piece.
A what piece?
Console. Very obviously old tech. Pre-Gene Wars.
Oh.
Let me know when I get there.
You get there. Everyone else is round. In fact, actually, let me just do something here.
I told you all I don't trust these holes. He's about to pull up a battle map.
I just
Yep.
did, yeah. Why don't you all situate yourself inside of the cabin? Or outside the cabin, where you would be.
Try to gaslight me, folks. You see that, folks at home? He gaslit me.
I'll be in the cabin. We're actually on here. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Interesting.
Scan it.
Actually, I'd be right here. Looking out the door and making sure the ship stays.
The ship is staying exactly where it's at. You're beginning to look around. Big Tin's doing a scan on this device. Schnozzboop, what are you doing during the time frame?
I see that Big Tin is scanning the device, and I tell him, "Do you
Yes,
believe
I-
in friendship?"
It doesn't work like that, but good luck.
Just consider yourself inspired.
Little inspiration, singing a little song. Teffy and Captain Burith, I'm curious to where the two of you are.
I'm already where I told.
Yes, but what are you doing?
I'm already there.
I think I'll be more in front of the window. I'll be keeping
in front.
watch.
I'm just standing there apprehensively, not doing anything, just waiting and observing.
Just waiting? Okay, then Captain Burith and Ultian, but the two of you give me perception checks.
Oh, you think I won't?
As you're looking out the window, Ultian, and Captain Burith's looking out the window. Actively looking for things.
This is perception. 7. Nice. It's a 21.
21. Ooh.
Much better than mine, 13.
13. For you, Captain Burith, well, Ultian's he's gonna see the end of it. One of these holes has a little bubble come up from it. Another bubble comes. A few more start bubbling up and over, and Ultian, you start to see as well. This hole also starts to bubble up and bubble over. And then it bursts like a geyser. Lots of water just shooting out of it. And these tiny little objects you can see inside flowing and flying out with it. It settles down and water starts falling from the air in a thin mist. And these square objects start falling down as well. Landing on top of the building, landing into the water. And you could see it flips itself towards you. And then another flips, and the ground seems as though it starts to come alive and start flipping towards, folding closer towards the cabin. These things, you don't know what they are, but I do need initiative at this point as you are being attacked by a swarm of them. Little square objects.
Classic DM gaslight.
Are beginning to swarm around. BT, as this is happening, you are engaging with this centerpiece, or this scanning this console. During the rounds of combat, you can spend your turn scanning the console and trying to ascertain some information, or you can break off and try to fight these swarms. If you continue scanning, you'll get stuff that could potentially bring an understanding to what's going on. and how to combat what's happening, and what this console's for. Outside of that, well, I can't tell you on that. You'll just have to find out.
Does this console qualify for my skill check?
For a skill check, it will, yeah.
So you have a percentage already factored for this?
I have it all thought out.
Okay. He doesn't know we're in combat, so he's gonna continue scanning until like the house collapses or something else like happens.
So things like that happen. Perfect. But before that, let's grab some initiatives. BT will have you roll just so we can do
Yeah.
the stuff
And
while things
it
are happening.
works out this good because I rolled an 11.
Hey!
So I'm not worried about what's going on at the moment.
Schnoz, Boop, what you get?
For 21.
21. Excellent. Altian?
23.
23. Teffy. Who is gone? Big Tin. Got an
It's like a
11.
5.
Burith,
In the
what'd you
chat.
get? Initiative of 5. Why are they putting it in chat?
I got a 26.
That's right. Yeah, they're 26. Insane on that. And they.
Is go.
Question before we get into combat.
Yep.
Wouldn't this be a great time for a break?
That's exactly what I'm leading up to. Is break time. While these strange square-like objects are flipping their way towards and genuinely swarming towards this cabin, we're going to take a break before we engage in that and figure out what's going on. So, enjoy your 15 minutes, everyone. We're going to enjoy our 15 minutes, and we'll be back with Island number 1 in a moment. Bye for now.
Hello there. As a guest of the Owlbear Inn, you obviously have taste. Now, as a person of taste, have you ever thought to yourself, I need to watch an artist who also has taste, with a sense of classiness and intelligence, heightened by sitting in a leather armchair before a fireplace with shelves of books behind? Neither have I. Anyways, I happen to have an art channel called Michael How Arts here on Twitch if you want to check it out. There's drawing, chatting, and sometimes gaming. If you enjoy fantastic characters and comics, or just having someone to hang out with while doing art, you should give Michael How Arts a look-see. That's twitch.tv/Michael How Arts. And if you visit, maybe, just maybe, you'll occasionally have that artist sitting in front of a fireplace to give you a +1 to the richness and culture of your Twitch experience. Though I wouldn't count on that. But please, do stop on by. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day.
I'm Michael Howe, and I approve this message. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I did this, and 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 this.
Hello, everybody.
Fine
All
store.
campaign, all I wanted was to pass wisdom saving throws, and I never do.
Even with advantage?
I have advantage. I have plus. All my feats almost have all been going into that direction. No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Consent is always important. Agreed.
You're next.
Why am I
not dead.
so bad at this game? Jeez.
Might be genetics.
Attack first. Think never. Hey, folks.
You feel a definite pulse of magical energy as you shake his hand.
You just made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Roll a will save.
There's more up there? We have to... I fucking hate this level.
We could have been playing Valheim. Dog, dog, dog. Save me, save me. Where are you? Get in front of me. Get in front of me. Get in front of me.
I'm coming. I was marking the cave.
Dogs. Santa. Ah! Get the dog. Help.
Hello, folks.
There. Apparently, I can't remember your name at all.
Who's Ingrid?
You.
You.
Me? Oh.
Yes, because I can't think. Wow. Why am I having such a hard freaking time with names today?
You called me Murphy twice before we
Yeah.
even started.
Shut up, Melvin. I'm working here.
Alrighty, naked.
That's a good drawing, right?
Damn right, Zach, that's
Really
good.
good. Oh my gosh. Love it.
Thank you.
Wow.
With someone.
Wait, you just said they had a book.
That being
Yes.
said, we will.
Yes.
And then you emphasize that there is a book.
Holy! Way to catch on to that like a minute and a half late. There's books, there's diaries, there's maps.
Wait, there's a book? We have not been consistent with this at all, have we?
No.
I'm not even gonna try and pronounce most of those. Wow.
Yeah, they had a sale on apostrophes that day.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know what's really going on. Hi!
We have you on speakerphone.
I was just gonna say, this is one hell of a collect call, man. I didn't know he knew Infallible Relay.
Does anyone know what the rates are? I don't have that much gold.
Did you know back in the old days, in the medieval times, they used to put lanterns, hang lanterns out on front of horses to help them navigate during nighttime?
Oh.
It was the first recorded instance of satellite navigation.
I enjoyed the live action The Avatar movie.
Oh, baby Baba Luba. And burble as it came.
No!
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah!
If you're only to be addressed as you as your own person, what do I do if there's like a whole bunch of y'all?
You may use titles as, I would say, the trolls. You may use the consequences if
Okay.
you would like.
So
You
y'all
may-
is off the table.
Y'all is an abomination.
A whole bunch of y'all.
Too late.
That's when you guys look over and see what once was Jitters descend slowly onto the ground, trampling towards you as its head from top to about past the sternum splits like that into a toothy maw that is its whole body. Rawr. Hello and welcome to Hate, Laugh, Love.
Everybody knows if it's green and it's slime,
You went that
it's booger time.
The show where we talk about movies.
He starts hopping on the way, and when you look back, there's Handor and Grace. Grace looking just frowning perpetually, and Handor just smiling ever so gracefully. And Finestorm, you see on their lips, Handor say, "You think they'll make it?" And Grace go, "Not a chance." Hi, everyone. Oh, whoa. I breathed in a tiny piece of spittle and it made me want a choke ski. We're back, hey, with initiative. Take a look at this. What is up? What is happening here? They're all inside this cabin. They rolled initiative. They have these square things, these square swarms plopping over at them. They don't know what they're going to be doing. However, the intent is very clear, to swarm around them. So we have rolled initiative. And first off is Captain Beerith. You're up first.
Well, he doesn't really have anything except a crossbow.
You have other superiority capabilities as well. You were our fighter commander.
So I'm looking at these maneuvers.
Yeah, don't forget about those.
Okay. So, what type of die is one of these superiority die?
It should say on there. Should be a D8.
Is on your turn. Expend one superiority die to grant. Where are my superior? There they are. We have 5d8 superiority die per short rest. Is that 5d8 per roll?
No, that's like
total.
It's total. It's like spell slots. You have 5d8 to spend.
That makes a lot more sense. So I'm gonna use rally on. Let's see. I can only do it on one creature. I will use rally on Ultian.
All right. What does Raleigh do?
Rally gives temp HP equal to the superiority die roll plus 0. 8. Nice.
You all
got the
hear
whole
that?
plus 8.
Sorry, if you could hear that noise in the background, that's Lily the dog, getting excited about the fact that she is going to be leaving the house soon. She talks.
Nice.
She talks in a very fun way, like never barks, always talks. Sorry, Ben, I lost
Trying to
focus
say
because I heard Lily trying to
you're
talk.
good.
What was that?
So
I get
they gain
8
temp HP.
Oh,
equal to the
nice.
superiority die roll, which was the full 8.
Excellent.
Nice. So get 8 temp HP.
Well, how are you rallying Ultian? You're not going to go away with just saying, I rally you. What do you say to rally?
Okay, I will look to him and say, Ultian, I don't know you well, but you're a good fighter. Fight on! Is that a good rally?
That's good. Yeah, it's good enough.
Okay.
I believe that's your action. You still have a bonus action and movement, right?
That was my bonus action.
Bonus action, you still have an action and movement. Wow.
Yes. Let me mark off one of those superiority die. I guess could I also use just rally one more time as one of my regular actions?
No. You can't do things twice like that.
Okay. Then I am going to use my crossbow to attack one of those square things out there.
Okay, do it too. And shooting at this swarm of these square flaps just rolling towards you.
There's a 20. Not a nat 20, a dirty 20.
Yes, a dirty 20 hits.
This is 1d6 plus 4. Alright, so we rolled 8 damage. Is there one? Let's square things. No, I'll probably be able to see these, right?
Yeah, you would be able to. Either one of those two.
So, 8 damage, and then
I believe with the dynamic... Actually, I don't think I turned dynamic lighting on. Whoops. Oh well. You can see those two easily.
okay.
So 8 damage.
And I'll have... Go ahead.
With that, you launch off this crossbow at one of these flopping square things, and it pierces right through the middle, piercing it to the stone. But all the others keep flapping at you. Towards you.
Well, I'll shoot one more, I guess.
Shoot another. Do you have... I don't think...
extra attack.
You have extra attack, but this is a crossbow. Crossbows require reloading. I don't think I gave you that capability. You can reload with it.
Okay. Even if it's a hand crossbow?
Even if it's a hand crossbow, all crossbows have the reloading trait.
Okay. So then I'll just use the extra attack to reload then.
Yeah, because I don't think I gave you crossbow expert. New character, who dis?
Yep.
So I'll end my turn after moving here. Let's say they're swarming. And that's it.
Excellent. Yep, I did not give you crossbow expert, so yeah, you'll have to use your bonus action or another attack, an attack. There we go, to reload. For that, but perfect. After Captain Beereth is Altian.
Okay. Quick question for the DM. Can I use Insightful Fighting, my bonus action, on a swarm, or does it have to be an individual creature?
It would technically it would count as individual. So, in this case.
Okay. All right then, bonus action. Insightful Fighting these bad boys.
Those bad
It's
boys.
my insight against their deception.
Excellent.
I'm hoping that since they're animals, it's not very good.
They got 11.
And I got 13. Hey.
Hey, that's what they rolled.
Oh, so yeah, let's go. All right. So that means I get sneak attack against them unless I have disadvantage. Would I have to move my character out like this in order to touch the water?
No, you're at the door. You would be able to just lean down and touch the water. You'd be...
Alright. I'm doing 2 things at once. Okay. I'm going to use my action to attack them with my electrified gloves, which I will do that first, then I will explain the second half of this. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. So roll to hit. There. 26 to hit?
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that's 2d8 plus... Check real quick. 3d6. 1 second. All these dice I have to take out. It's been a little while since we've been in combat.
It's been a while since we've gotten into combat.
Okay, rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. Rawhide. All right.
Yeah. I'm puzzled by that one too.
26 lightning damage.
26 lightning damage.
And
oh boy.
I'm leaving one hand in the water so that I can do this. As my reaction, I use my elemental dampener on my armor, which is
your absorb elements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. This captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effect on you and storing it for the next attack. So I have resistance to lightning as soon as it triggers, so I only take half of that damage. And then I get to add it and another d6 onto my next attack to them. So I'm going to eat a bit of damage early on in order to deliver more here in a second, if that makes sense.
Right. So you're voluntarily taking 52 points of damage, halved to 26.
No, 26 halved.
No, because it's water, it's multiplied. Vulnerabilities into the water electrified through. That's how where my mind went. Is like you're diffusing it through the water and increasing it. I mean, if you, I could see it that way too, potentially. That's where my mind immediately went. Is there another potential way? Because like you're holding your hand in there. If you want to hold your hand in there, absolutely, yeah, you're going to be taking some of this damage. With where my mind went, it would be a whole lot more. But with some feasible maybe explaining.
A multiplier.
Like
no, I didn't think about a multiplier.
You know, electric damage. It's super effective on water.
You're right. No, I'm an idiot. I was not thinking that there would be a multiplier on that. So no, I'm not taking half of 56 because my life is 57. So I'm definitely not taking half my life away real quick for 1d6. Scratch my reaction. I'm just touching, because on my gloves there are barbed like tips on each one where the electrical current goes through in between. So like that.
Tapping
just
in
a little
and like a burst with a you can't see the electricity itself like pulsing through these creatures, but you do see them shrink and curl up into a ball as it's flowing through this swarm of creatures. And having had the thought of, well, I could just store and do this, utilize this effect, seeing how it flows more freely through this water, like, maybe a good idea now. Yeah.
Let's see if they deliver acid damage to me, because then I can resist that.
It's a really cool thought. I love it. I want to see it happen at some point. It does shrink in size because you've killed that many of them.
Perfection.
It doesn't matter, seemingly, as of yet, but am I correct to say that they're still blessed?
They are. Yes, they would still be blessed.
Oh, I forgot about my bless.
I mean, you just get more attack roll, which you succeeded, so.
Anyway, yeah. But thank you for
Here we go. Let's get those blessings on there as a reminder as well. You blessed yourself too, right? Boop. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, and as you shock and this electricity flows very freely through, it slams into them and flows freely through them and pulses through. A lot of them stop moving, but more still flap over. And as they're flapping over, a few of them are stopping over the dead ones. And when they come out, there's nothing left. They just devour them.
Gross. Okay. I will relay this information to the group, and also express to Big Tin.
Hey, big guy, we might need you here in a minute.
If that's all Tin, then Schnozzboop, you're up.
So, first off, my understanding that the area in front of the door would be difficult terrain as the plants are still there?
The area in front of the door would be difficult terrain if the plants were still there.
They're not there anymore?
So the plants themselves are being eaten and devoured as these things are wrapping over there.
Very good. And then second question, do I see that they are... Do I sense that they're sentient individuals?
No, definitely not.
Cool.
Just ravenous hunger.
Do we agree that this is a window?
That is not a window.
Not a window.
Can you see the window icons on your side? There are two windows.
Yes, I can.
There you go. Those are windows.
How do we know that these guys are here?
He doesn't have dynamic lighting on right now.
I don't have dynamic light. This is an open door.
That's what that means. Okay, sorry. I didn't know what the dynamic lighting comment meant. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I assume the door is open as Ultian just attacked those fellas there?
Yes. This is what a closed door icon looks like.
Okay.
That's a closed door.
Cool.
And this is
We're going to cast Hypnotic Pattern, which is a 30-foot square.
Okay, read off Hypnotic Pattern for us.
Sure. You create a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes.
Okay, cool.
Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, excellent. Cool. Right.
So we're going to just do it on all of these.
All those guys.
Swarmy guys.
Great. Hypnotic Pattern, that's not concentration, right? I think we've looked at this. If that's concentration, you'd be losing...
It is concentration.
You'd be losing bless.
I think it's worth it. I'm going to do it anyways.
Worth it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate.
Forgot that bless was concentration. I forgot that.
So bless goes away. You cast Hypnotic Pattern. The air around rips with colorizations. They don't seem to move at it or be disturbed by it at all. And Schnorsboop, after casting it, it appears that they don't have the capability of sight.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they are tracing you all through other means.
Okay. Well, in that case, Ultian, do you believe in friendship?
I do.
I knew it. Do I want to move it all? No, that's a good spot for Snozboop. End of turn.
Excellent. The end of your turn, it's them. They get to do stuff. This swarm is going to swarm up to Ultian.
Ouch.
Ouch, potentially. We'll see what happens. Gonna move them all. This one is swarming up to the outer wall, and you can hear hard things start to thump and slap against the walls as they are starting to climb up the building and into some of the halls. This one's gonna get to this side. Ultian, though, you're the one who's in immediate danger and threat right now. With the swarm flopping up and around, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, baby. It's right up my alley. A raw dex saving throw. Gonna be 24. 17 on the dice.
You are capable at moving and picking up your feet enough to avoid most of them, but one of them does flop onto your foot and attach itself as you're moving around. You have one of these creatures attached to you.
What kind of damage is it dealing me?
You don't know yet. All you know is you have one of them attached to you.
Oh, hasn't quite gotten through the leather.
No, possibly not. BT, it is now your turn. What are you doing?
I'm still studying.
Studying? Still looking through. Let me move over back to that. You need a percentile dice roll, right? At this point? Yep.
Yep. Don't know what my target is, but yep.
Do you have in mind for the mechanics of this that you know that the target is, or that you don't know what the target is?
Don't know.
Don't know? Okay. Then give me percentile dice. I know.
I know it's gonna be low. That's about it. And not 6.
Oh boy, yeah, you definitely figured this out real quick.
Oh, yeah. What a roll. Good timing. In combat. Just where it needed to be.
The tail comes around and inserts, and you all see this console come to life and begin flipping through sites on the screen as it's now essentially getting downloaded into Big Tin's brain. And he's interacting with it and finding it. That will be your full turn. Engaging with this item. Teffy, then it's you.
Teffy glances out the window and sees. How do I make it announce? There we go. Sees that swarm of the square things. And her eyes kind of go wide, and she starts swearing a little bit. She is going to cast Levitate on herself.
Okay, yeah. Cast Levitate on yourself and you start hovering off the ground.
Yeah. How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling is roughly 10 feet.
Okay. I am going to hover equidistant between the floor and the ceiling.
Excellent. Okay, so 5 feet off the ground. Herp, 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 herp. Let's give you the wings. That is your action, I believe. Any bonus action?
My bonus action will be speaking, and I'm going to say, their exoskeleton is really, really hard, impenetrable, but they do have a squishy underbelly. Do not let them get on you.
I just look over at you and I say,
Too late, Taffy.
Don't try to pick it up.
That's the turn. Back around to the top of it. Burith, you're up.
Well, we're going to shut this window if we can.
Oh,
it's
you
shut.
just opened it. It is shut. Apparently it's shut, so yeah.
Well, it was open before when I shot a crossbow through it.
Nice. Oh, that's
I thought
right.
it was open. So.
Nice. Okay.
So we're
Shut.
shutting the window. Are there any visible square things coming in through holes?
The front
in the wood?
door. There's immediately there's the front door. You can give me a bonus action for
Yeah.
investigation or a perception check.
For smaller ones?
For smaller ones, yeah. And I would take your bonus action for that.
Okay. And that's investigation?
Or perception. Investigation would make more sense. Your DC would probably be lower for that one.
Yeah. So that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Let me just put some marks down for you. Make sure it's actually going to come through. I'm going to make these pink. A nice pink color. Hopefully that's going to be nice and visible for you. Alright. In the roof, right here,
Oh, yep.
There's a hole. It's going to be smaller than that. I just want to make them obvious.
Mhm.
Over on Schnozzboob's side, there's a hole right here in the wall. About at Teffy's height. And the biggest one probably is where BT is. What we all thought was a window. But is a big hole near the roof, but not on the roof perfectly itself. And then obviously there's the front door and the windows. Everything else seems surprisingly intact for how rugged this place looks. But that is another key note. Very rugged wood.
Okay. Did I use my bonus action to close that window?
No, that was your free item interaction use.
Okay. I'm gonna use one of my superiority die again to
You
rally.
used your bonus action for the investigation check.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So
You have your action and movement.
Actions. Action. Guy has a lot of maneuvers. Outside combat.
While he's thinking about things, hey, thanks Kate Woolman for sponsoring us. Stay Farm. Go check him out.
Yeah.
Also, we have merch. Go buy our merch.
I think I'm gonna use my rapier. I'm gonna move over here. Kind of swipe at the guys coming in.
Okay. Swipe another ones that are beginning to tumble through that hole. Sure, poking through. Give me some attack rolls. Wait, this one's on the roof.
+9.
This one's on the roof.
As they fall down.
As they fall down. Stabbing. So maybe hold your.
Are they in yet?
They're not in just yet on the roof. They'll probably be in soon.
Okay.
So hold your action maybe for that.
Okay.
So like stab at
Can
them.
we
as
hold
these-
that extra attack for that?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got, like,
so-
a swipe.
When
we got a +9 on that attack roll.
Yeah, when we hold actions, that's part of our home rule thingies, is whenever you hold the attack action, you do get all of your attacks. Works for the NPCs and the enemies as well. Mainly because it sucks to hold your attack action just for one attack.
Alright, so we're gonna be slashing them as they come in.
Holding for that.
So I got a couple slashes in.
Yeah. Altian. It'll be your turn then. At the start of your turn.
Ouch.
It is ouch. You are taking 2 points of slashing damage as tiny little teeth are beginning to dig into your foot.
Cool. Shut the door. Bonus action disengage.
Shutting the door and bonus action disengage. I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to close this door.
Cut that circle in half, because half of them are probably already in.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. Alright, let's drop this down to just 2 squares. There we go. And we'll put you right there. And this one's going to go down to 2 squares. And it's going to go right there. Excellent. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Action. This one might hurt me a little bit, but I gotta get this. I'm going to put my boot up on this, where's it at? On this device, as if I'm about to tie my shoe. And reaching down with my electrified gloves. I'm going to choose not to use my sneak attack for the extra 3d6. I'm only going to do the 2d8.
Alright.
Attack to hit, 1 second. Let's say 22.
22, that hits.
Okay, so that's 2d8. I will use my reaction this time to have the shock on me.
Yeah, you definitely are taking the damage from this.
It's just 12. Yeah, so 12. I take 6.
Yep, you take 6.
Takes 12.
Ultian puts the little bristles on his fist up against this thing. You see a spark happen, and it flows across the thing's surface into Ultian's foot as well. You see that he takes the shock as well, but some of the electricity getting stored inside some of his gizmos along his body. And that pain of something digging into your foot releases, and this thing falls off. And on the other underside, a side that you are not seeing even when they're flipping over until the end here, when they're dead, is this soft underbelly that's pink with all these weird bristly suction cups, and in the center, a long tube-like thing with very sharp incisors at the end of it. And on your foot, Ultian, you see a very big hole dug straight through your foot.
Cool. If you'll allow some, did I kill that thing?
It's dead. It's dead,
okay.
Yeah.
For flavor, I'm using the foot it bit me on to absolutely smash this thing. Absolutely pay for.
Squish.
Okay. Action, bonus action, reaction, movement.
Yeah.
That's everything I got.
That's everything you got. Schnoz, you're up. Schnoz, boo.
Okay. Looking at this swarm thing, at a glance, how many of these creature things are in this thing?
At a glance, maybe between 20 and 30.
Okay. I'm gonna move here. And then I'm gonna cast sleep here.
There? Okay.
Which I think gets both swarms.
Both swarms. Right, go for it.
And it's going to be second level.
Second level. Roll that wonderful sleeping footage.
Okay. Now this is the trouble. I need like a bajillion d8s. Okay, so it's 5d8 plus 2 more. So 7d8.
7d8.
Sorry, I was crunchy that whole time.
No,
My
you're
bad.
good. It was in character, basically.
Well, that was not a very good roll. 32.
32.
So,
I mean,
starting with
I
the creature
killed
that has
it
the
with
lowest
12,
current hit points.
So,
Undead creatures.
does this also
Undead and
affect
creatures
the
immune to
swarm?
being charmed aren't affected by the spell.
Now, these things are not immune to being charmed. You put to sleep half of them.
Huh.
There we go. Ignore this thing down here. I'll just have it down there for reference.
So that's rest your head, my friends. And then Ultian did not use his inspiration, so I'll turn to the captain and say, "Do you believe in friendship?" Captain, consider yourself inspired.
Excellent. After Schnolzbeep, it's their turn. These things, as the ones that are still awake, start flapping over. You see the ones that fell asleep, whenever they get covered by another, and the other flaps off, there's a big hole in the center of them, like they've been started to be eaten. And most of them are half eaten by the time the rest of the smaller ones get across. Now, Teffy is off the ground, out of their reach, which means they are going to go straight for Altian.
Give me another dex save. Come on. I could do this all day.
Give me another dex save.
You're inspired still, just so you're aware.
I am.
You are inspired still, yeah.
Is that a D8?
D8. It's much worse.
Not that I need it, but I'm trying to really make sure they don't touch me this time around. Okay, that's 28.
28 is another success as you're moving out of the way. However, one of them still does get on top of you. It would have been 3 if he failed.
Okay. I'll just keep shocking myself real quick.
Gets onto you on another side. It kind of flops up and attaches to your left calf.
How big is that hole in the roof?
Not the biggest. A few of them could tumble through at a time.
I'm thinking about getting out.
Don't make it bigger.
Not big enough for you to get out. The biggest entry here for you, for a humanoid your size to get out, would be the front door. That's that one. These ones are going to start climbing the top. And just a couple are going to fall through. Yeah, I need your triggered attack. These ones are climbing up as well.
That's an 18.
An 18. Yes. Yes, that just hits.
Okay. 8.
I also need someone to roll a d6.
13 damage.
13 damage? Okay, d6. Someone tell me what you get.
2.
2. This flat ramp starts falling from the ceiling, and as you pierce up, it hits the stony surface and just sparks and tinks off of it. The rocky surfaces on the outside are immune to slashing and piercing damage. Only their underbelly is. And it's, as they're tumbling through the air, 50% chance. Got an even number. Hit the outer shell.
Okay. Well, I've got an extra attack, so...
Give me another one.
Do I get advantage seeing its soft underbelly?
Just, no. This is about timing and practice as it's flapping and falling through the air.
You are inspired, though.
You are inspired.
If you'd like to utilize that ability, which is a d8 to the roll if you would like.
What would I roll?
So,
would it just be an attack roll?
The inspiration wouldn't have anything to do with the 50% chance of hitting it or not.
Okay. Well, I'll go for it again.
Do it again, do it again, do it again.
That is another 9 plus 9, 18.
18, that'll hit again.
That's odd.
Well, someone give me another d6 and see if it hits the shell or the belly.
4.
4, it's the shell again. It's another even number.
Okay. Well, that's no roll for damage, so.
I will say this is going to fall here as they're tumbling through. Not on top of you. Your attacks have deflected them away from landing on top of anyone. They may be hitting only the shell, but it's enough to where it's not going to be affecting people just yet. Let's shrink that one down. Oh, hell. Hello. Let's do that. This one needs to go over here. They are not making it through just yet. But they're gonna be getting there. Alright. And that's going to actually be there. Big Tin, your body's registering that things are moving across it, but it's not registering any damage. You're not
Yay?
made of meat.
No,
They
I'm
don't
not.
want to eat you.
Oh, I can just sit and watch this and out. Okay, this is gonna be fun.
You sure
No.
can, yeah.
I don't think I'm that mean yet.
That is going to be their turn. Big Tin, it is you. You are engaged with this. The next
Off.
process. Off.
Can I find the subroutine? It turns them off.
You can find the information vial that these are organic creatures as a byproduct of what was done here. There is no off switch for them. They are natural.
Well, that sucks. Is there any defense? Is there any built-in defense in this system?
There might be. Give me, for your bonus action, you can give me an investigation check with advantage, seeing as you are familiar with routines like this. You know where to look, essentially.
Yes. If I can find my 2d20, there they are. Well, let's see here. This was investigation?
Ooh. Yeah.
So I think that comes out to be dead 0, so 19.
19, excellent. Yeah, you get to it quick enough, and this was a geothermal station prior to the shattering. There is a routine to start up the thermal processing, for lack of better terms, where you can essentially, from what you've deduced and brought together, you can artificially increase the water's surface around by pushing the water out of the holes.
Will that slow these things down or hurt them?
You're not quite sure. Mainly because of this water here. So the assessment of whenever they did this, it put them in a dormant state. They were resting while the heat was more exposed to them. When it was during the in-between, they would always come out of the holes looking for food or sustenance to eat. Now that it's surrounded by water, you're not sure what turning on this subroutine will actually do. You just know that it's what they used to do in order to put them to sleep. Prior to the shattering, this was all above water. The estimations is it'll raise the water around the building, but you're not sure how that'll have an effect.
Well, again, can I just turn on the subroutine and then disengage? Have I gotten everything out of this that I'm gonna?
Yeah, you can get for the rest of your turn, you'd be able to get backups of everything you need, and then turn it on and disengage. You can do that.
Yeah. So next turn we'll be in combat, I guess. Then there's no other way around it.
The screens flicker off. There is a sound of some whirring coming from this machine before it stops and clicks. BT moves the tail and is now seeing everything around. The Altians batting at something on their leg. There's creatures falling through the ground surface, and you can see that around your feet, these things are also flopping and flapping around, but ignoring you. Teffy.
I guess for the last thing I'll say, this machine's no help against them.
Just give me a second. It might be.
So the ceilings are 10 feet tall, and Teffy is 6 feet tall. Therefore, the difference is 4 feet. She's equidistant, 2 feet from each. So she can reach the ceiling to push herself somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to move Girly Pops. Does the door have a window in it?
No, solid door.
Okay. Then she is going to push her way over here. And she's going to use the sunburn torch out the little gapperini to see what that does to these gross things. The
Okay.
sunburn torch causes blisters when it's aimed at a target. We're just seeing what happens. For
See what
science.
happens, giving it for science. Okie dokie. Well, the sunburn torch stuff, it being pointed, being directed at them. Anything else with your turn? Because it doesn't happen on your turn.
No,
if anything.
I'm okay.
Okay. Around to the top again with Burith. You have a pile of these things starting to form around your feet in front of you.
Okay. Can I see one with an exposed underbelly?
They never have the exposed underbelly whenever they're on a surface.
Hmm.
It is always the hardened shell on the outside.
So is it like a pill bug kind of thing? Are they like open to reveal the belly?
Kind of like a pill bug, various thing, but when you're seeing them flap and turn, and while they're moving, they're literally flapping and folding themselves over. But the shell is always remaining on the top, even though technically you would think the belly would be. The shell is shifting with their flap to always be at the top. Weird anatomy in these things.
Well, there's still some inside, right?
Oh yeah,
little
there's quite a few
swarm
inside
right here
now.
in front of us.
Yeah.
So I'll just try and hit one. I guess. Rapier.
Hit one with rapier.
15 plus 9, that's 24.
24? That'll hit. I'm gonna start rolling the d6s again for these guys. See if you get the chance. It's a 3, you do, this time. What are the damage?
So that will be 13 damage.
Ooh, you are all over the place with the mic.
13 damage.
13 damage. That pierces right through and kills this thing.
Nice. So one is dead. Alright, so we're gonna use our extra attack.
Go for it.
12.
12 to hit?
Yeah.
And 12 does not hit.
Shoot.
Punctures into the wood with one of the flaps just flapping over.
Okay.
Okay, that was your action. Bonus action. Movement.
Bonus action, I will use one of my superiority die to rally Schnozboop.
Rallying Schnozboop. How do you rally him?
I will say, you, my friend, have been truly inspirational. May your journey carry ever onward. For 5 temp HP.
Cool.
Excellent.
And that'll end that.
That'll be it. And we're over to Altian. 6 points of piercing damage. As you feel something digging and eating the flesh from your calf, worming its way into your muscles.
Bonus action, disengage.
Give me an insight check before that.
I shall. $14.
14? Okay. Having already given a bonus action to it, and having a chance to more combat time with them, you get the sense that there's no reactionary capabilities in these creatures for that. You don't actually have to spend your bonus action. I've taken it from you once. I won't do it again.
Okay, I'm gonna go here. Think. And saying out loud to everybody.
We need to get off the ground. Snozboop, get to Teffy now. And then
I'm grabbing the captain. And I'm aiming up at the ceiling and I'm grappling Hook up off of the ground with him in my hands. And if you need, I will do a strength, because I'm not sure exactly what size the captain is. I forget.
I mean, he's a tiefling, so he's not like humongous.
Yeah, but he's about average person size.
About average person size, but if the captain is willing, you won't have to. He'll be holding on with you as well. It'll be if something.
You feel my arm go around your chest, underneath
I
one
think the
arm,
captain
and underneath
would
the
initially
other.
be surprised, but then grab onto Ultian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Grabbing
I'm
hold,
hanging there.
flying, and hanging up. Hanging up off the ground after Ultian is Schnozboop. There are things on the ground beginning to flop towards you.
Well,
Very quickly.
Yep.
I say one more thing to the captain. I'm gonna say,
if you wouldn't mind using your blade, get in between my calf and this thing, please.
Snozboop's going to do a little jump on top of the console and then attempt to jump and just give Teffy a big hug, like a monkey.
Like a monkey.
Like a monkey.
Teffy, do you have any objections to receiving a monkeying Schnozboop?
No, in fact, her arm would already be extended to catch him after
Okay.
hearing Ultian's warning.
So that will be your reaction, Teffy, but no check required from Schnozboop because of it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. So we're gonna cast Sleep again. Cool. Level 2 once more, and we're gonna cast it to encompass these two smaller circles here.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 5, that's 7 of these.
Oh, you're real lucky. In certain ways.
Oof. This is like my worst sleep roll ever. 29.
29. So, these are swarm creatures. Each individual one counts as only having 5 HP. However, each one of these little tiny blobs technically has more health than Captain Burith right now, who would also be inside the realm that would include these two. But because they are each at 5, they all will always count as the lesser HP creature.
Cool.
So you're lucky in that feature. Some of them will be falling asleep.
Snozboop is going to look up at Teffy and say, "Do you believe in friendship?"
Teffy's inspired. Which makes everyone inspired. So if one of you all does not use your inspiration, Schnozboop will not be able to do that next round.
I already used it.
Oh, you did? Okay, excellent. Boop, let's get rid of that. That being you, it's their turn. They are going to continue piling in. Need to take this a size up. You all being off the ground. Shoo-ba-da-bip-bip. Makes it a little difficult for them to actually catch you. Come on now. Inside we go. Actually, this one's going to need to be another size bigger.
Get to work, Big Tin. Start stomping.
This one goes down one.
That is friendlies.
Stomp in time. Step in time. That's the song I'm thinking of. And as they all start flapping and forming and fidgeting towards the ground, you do notice that they are starting to flap on top of each other, stacking, getting higher. Slowly but surely. You are still out of their reach though, and BT, they are still ignoring you. Speaking of BT, it's your turn now.
I got this suspicion as soon as I start attacking them, though, they're gonna start not ignoring me.
Oh, we shall see.
Well, since you guys seem set on not leaving this building.
None of us had said that at all. You could open up the door and clear a path for us, but you seem to be frozen in your place, contemplating the fact.
If I open up the door, then the rest come in.
Slowly gonna be eaten alive.
It's kind of fun.
You could clear a path.
All right, BT, it's your turn. What do you do?
Sure, I'll clear a path.
How?
Well, I'll just kind of knock over stacks as I go through towards the door and walk over to the door and just swiping at stacks of bugs.
Okay.
See maybe if they can get them to follow me.
Give me some attack rolls.
Okay. Let's see here. I guess we'll just be using paws. Oh, that's not going to hit, no matter what. Not swiping very good. That paw misses.
Swipes and it just misses. Almost like a cat's just lazily.
Yeah.
Batting.
Guess I gotta try harder. That one's gonna be a 25.
25, that'll hit. Roll some damage.
2d6.
If their carapaces are metal and you do lightning damage to a stack, will it flow?
That's up to JP. So that's 12 points of lightning.
12 points of lightning. Doubled again for them. Because they are vulnerable to lightning damage. And it does flow through. So this little stack here is just crispified. As it flows through and deals a good old whopping 24. Which is enough to eliminate that one. There we go. And when you get to the door and open it, the other stack's moved. It's moved aside too. From what you can see, there's a clear path to the ship. The ship, of which, Big Tin, you can see, is currently also being swarmed by these things.
Oh, fun. Oh, there's your path. You better take it.
Teffy, you're up. You've got a Schnozzboop spider monkeyed onto you, and a large pile of these things starting to stack up. They are nearly at your feet.
What happened when I turned on the sunburn torch?
The sunburn torch, it didn't look like it affected them.
Okay, so I'm going to put that away, turn it off, put it away, and then I'm going to make sure Snozzboop is like behind me, like an extra backpack, and then I'm going to like pulled myself across the ceiling and kind of pushed myself out the door.
It's Baby Yoda. Alright, you should be able to move your character,
Oh, yeah.
your token. We've got a map.
Okay. Okay, and then I'm actually going to stay there, and I'm going to try to like do as big of a kick as I can on my next turn.
Okay. Now, you wouldn't be able to actually get there because BT is big enough that he would be in the way of you being able to actually be above him. You wouldn't be able to. There's not enough space.
I'll
So,
just open the door and get out of the way of the door.
not enough for this turn. Next turn you'll be able to.
Okay.
Because it is.
And Snowspoop, come with me.
Yes, that's what I'm moving right now.
Very nice.
Stacking of tokens. I have to move one token to get to the other token, to get to another token. So, takes a little moment. But you will be able to get with your movement to there easily enough. That being Teffy, the end of the round, at the top of this round, those of you who can see outside can see that these holes are beginning to... They're not bubbling, but they are surging with water, and the water level is beginning to rise again. Burith, it's your turn. You're attached to an Ultian.
Speaking with the captain, I'm going to explain that I am going to throw you on top of Big Tin.
Seems we've got a path cleared.
Okay. What's
The
your
two of
strength?
you actually have your turns right next to each other. If you'd like to take them in tandem, you can.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll do that. What's your strength? Then?
14 plus 5.
Ah, okay. You will be giving me advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
This will take Ultian's action.
Oh! Okay. That's a nat 20.
Nice.
You get yeeted
Captain
on top
Cannonball.
of on top of Big Ten. You land like you dropped from
Shocked.
a balcony onto your horse. You know, like that. You land perfectly astride Big Ten. Okay, since that was my action. Yeah. Lower myself down and boot, scoot, and boogie.
Boot, scoot, and boogie. Start to run.
Up out of here.
All right, Captain Burith, you as well on your turn. You just got chucked on there, but you still have an action and some movement left. Anything you'd like to do?
I will rally Big Tin.
Okay, how you doing this?
Or
Big Tin, I would give you a reaction normally to, dodge out of the way of someone intruding on space like this, but that was a natural 20. So you can absolutely chuck him off at this point if you'd like.
Chuck him off.
Well,
he can get off on his own.
True.
Alright, well, I don't need to be on Big Ten per se, so I will not be on Big Ten. I'll just get off. And then I'll rally and say, clear us a path forward if you can. For 7 HP.
Nice.
Temp HP.
7 temp HP.
And if there's any Chidden wearers around, Chitin wearers, I'm going to swipe at them. Are there any nearby?
There are not. You haven't moved.
Not where you are.
Not where
Yeah,
you are. You should be
Oh, okay, yeah, we're
more
now
by across the room by the door.
So the door's open. So can I go through the door?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I thought Big Tin was still on the way. I would definitely be outside the door.
Yeah, you
at this
can
point.
you can move through your allies. You cannot end in the same space as your allies. So yeah, you can
I would have
you can
ended right
all be moving.
Also, as a side note, that area is still difficult terrain. No, it was eaten. I take
It's
it back.
eaten. Yeah, it's all eaten away.
We're good to
your,
go.
your magical effect has been devoured. The magicking as well. Fun fact. So, there is only one more dilemma from you all leaving this scenario without any problem. As soon as Teffy leaves with this concentration of this levitation on, she will not be able to propel herself. She will only be able to go up or down. No sideways. How are you getting around that?
Hook a foot around Big Tin. Just get yanked.
Grab a tail, balloon yourself.
Balloon yourself.
Grab a tail and act like a balloon.
I mean, that'll work.
Ballooned and dragged along, the water level very quickly building and getting up around your feet. By the time you reach the ship, Schnozzboop, if you're in the ground, it would be at your waist, maybe at the bottom of your chest. Yep.
Quick.
I'm still on
I am
Teffy, as far
throwing
as I know.
dynamite
Yeah, that's
underneath
why I
that
said
machine.
if you were in the water.
Oh.
Oh, what was that, Altian?
I'm gonna throw dynamite underneath that machine to see what kind of explosion happens to take care of some of these things.
Underneath the machine before you leave?
Yeah, like literally on the way out, I'm like rolling it across the floor and shutting the door behind me, and then
Hightailing it away. Okay. There is an explosion, smoldering of wood as it lands around you all. And when you look back, some of the creatures are gone, yeah. I mean, you just destroyed a few of them with force damage, for sure. That machine, though, doesn't look like it had anything happen to it. It still looks pristine.
Hmm. Okay. Any whoozleby. Let's get back to that
Oh.
ship real quick.
Also, that's another 2 points of piercing damage, as the thing attached to your thigh is still attached to your thigh, and eating, or your calf, still attached to your calf and eating your calf.
Oh, trust me, it'll pay here in a couple seconds.
Getting onto the ship, there's a lot of the crew, a few of them have big holes eaten into them. First mate, when he sees you all getting on, it's like, very good, I see the water's coming back now. You wouldn't mind if we just left as soon as we could, right, Captain?
Full tail reverse out.
Excellent, thank you. And he goes about seeing to making the orders happen. Now, Altian, while the ship is going about its business and you are there with this thing attached to you, I'm going to deliver another d6 of damage to you. 5 points of piercing damage. Now, how are you all handling this?
Oh, I'm just gonna shock it again.
Oh, you're just going to shock it again? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm reaching behind my calf, and there's like grumbles, curse grumbles. You motherfucker. Yeah, I gotta. Do I have to roll for that, or can we just?
Yeah, still roll for it.
Okay. Oh,
I'm going to
wasn't
need to
sure.
know how much damage you're going to be taking.
Do that.
So, we're back at the
26
ship.
to hit.
Are the baddies still swarming the ship?
They're holding on to the side like barnacles, but whenever they touch the side, they're falling off singed. They've electrified the boat.
Oh.
Or the ship. 7 points? Nice.
7 points halved for me, so that's
3 for you.
4, right? You go
3.
Do you go
Round
up
it
or do you go
down.
down? I run it down.
Yeah.
And then I'm picking that thing up in my hand and I am crushing it.
Crushing around it. The outer shell scrapes like... Ooh. Now, Altian
I'll
would have
do
encountered
athletics.
obsidian before, it scrapes with the sound of obsidian, but with the hardness of something you've never experienced before. Doesn't even chip together. Like the squishiness absolutely does, but it itself not so much. There's quite a few of these things dead.
With me.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them on the ship and around dead that the crew's taken care of. Also for Teffy, because I know Gene Warrior might want some samples of this.
I'm gonna try and make a weapon out of them.
I want a sample.
You want a sample? Take a sample, yeah.
Is it ancient Arctech?
It's not Arctech, it's natural. But
I don't care.
Well,
oh,
your routines from the that workbench that you went into, part of it was actually to harvest these things. That substance that the key's made of, and the substance that bench is made of, is from these things. Their hardened outer shell was harvested.
Cool. We'll just file that away.
Is it lightweight?
Very lightweight.
Material?
Yeah, incredibly lightweight.
Come back and harvest a bunch, make a new machine out of it.
It's good.
Oh.
I'm like using a shovel to get as many of them.
Many of them as you can. Now, Altian, there is one thing you know I will give you because of the intelligence and your capabilities in this. There is absolutely, of no way to be able to refine a substance like this to what you want to use it for.
I'm not refining it. I'm using it as a raw material for extra shielding on myself. I'm
You'll
going
need to tell me,
use it on my armor. You know what I mean?
You'll need to give me a full description later on, or like type me out a description of how you're intending to use it, because it's only really usable if it's refined. So you're gonna have to explain to me how you're gonna use this, because these are tiny little pieces that won't do a thing by themselves.
But I was thinking more of like, okay, so they're tiny. I thought they were more like.
No, they're not big chunks. When these things are dead, the substance is coming off as tiny. It needs to be malleable for it to roll. A substance that hard can't be malleable. With them being alive, they're held together tight, so nothing comes through. But dead, they're much smaller pieces. So you can,
I will message you about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe something like a scale mail of some kind might be doable.
Exactly.
So we'll have to talk about that. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying we'll have to come up with an idea for this, because it'll have to be unique.
I was thinking, interlacing,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Because I was gonna do that anyway, but now that I know it's even smaller, that's just gonna take me more time.
Mm-hmm.
Glue into a club, +2 bludgeoning damage.
Glue into a club.
Let's go clubbing with carcasses.
Like a
oh, yeah.
baseball bat with nails in it.
True. The water. Oh yeah, go for it.
What was my skill gain for unlocking that machine?
Your skill gain, that machine, for the information of the substance. If you've got you at a 20. Because I'm also basing it off of how well you roll to a little side substance on that. 5 for unlocking the ore materials, and for the geothermal study of it and the mechanic that you can further unlock, it's just a 2%. It's a basic basic device that was embedded in here. Nothing too special, but the metal substance though, that's probably where you're getting the most uniqueness.
I need every percentage I can get.
So a total of 7.
Chip, cool. I'm at 28%.
Awesome.
One more question about this material.
Yep.
What are the edges like?
Kind of like obsidian, but not that sharp.
Just not that sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp enough, though?
Potentially. Refining would make them sharp enough. It's kind of like a dull kitchen knife.
Mm-mm.
Still deadly, but, you know, not efficient for what you might want to use it for.
Just a mason jar bomb, you know what I mean? Just
Oh, gosh.
Just full of those, you know what I mean?
Probably, well, we'll leave that to some rolls in the future.
Hey!
Ship starts rising up again as the water is being forced out of these tubes through the effects. Enough to where it's a slight scraping, but you can back up out of this plateau island and start moving around.
Excellent. And they let us go? A-okay?
They continue trying. However, what Yolandria did with attaching essentially her big ol' archangel's powering substance to the hull of the ship kept it safe from them. Whenever they attach, they just get electrocuted and fall off. Essentially, she's turned the area around the ship very dangerous and deadly for a short time frame.
Cool. That didn't affect us.
No.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
We're boating about then, around this here little island.
Boating about around the little island. Interesting little taste.
Put a couple extra eyes in the navigational area.
More people paying attention, more ideas of what this archipelago is like. You continue on your journey again. Moving through.
If I see Yolandro, not Yolandro, Altian, playing with these scales and looking at them and, like, you know, looking at his armor and looking at things like that, did the refinement process, was that in the data?
It would be, yeah.
That I got?
You would have the refinement process.
Hmm.
You would need
Oh,
to
yeah, maybe.
You would need to unlock the capabilities of building it, but you know that you have the general refinement process. Building with
Okay.
current tech might be a little
challenging.
However, the ship you're also on is refined in a way that you haven't seen up in Iridai. These massive barrels, Iridai can't manufacture something that big. They might be able to, given what you've discovered in Grantina Senate, but you haven't seen anything outright that large. Much smaller in scale. Yeah, okay, so random little interruption and intrusion aside. First island done, first day down. Anything else you'd all like to do for your day?
Next question.
Go for it.
Can I reverse the memory cantrip, taking the digital information I know about the refinement process and creating that memory thing to give to someone else?
That's right, you got that cantrip, didn't you?
Yes, you did. You gave it to me.
Ah, yeah. No, Peter. That answer is no. Very, very strongly, flat out no. Sorry. They sent
Did you ask?
Wow.
another message that, no, as soon as I finished reading it, I went, oh, no. No, you have not
Oh.
seen the creature. You have its scales does not mean you've seen it.
Oh,
They
it wasn't
asked-
the scene. It was the challenge rating that I was.
Oh
not
yeah.
sure.
I'll need to look into it more detail, but I'm confident that answer is no. They asked if they can turn into a blue a young blue dragon through polymorph because they have the blue dragon mask? I'm confident that answer is no.
Cool.
Nice try.
Yeah. Right. The refinement. Yes. Actually, that's how that spell would work. You can then essentially. Oh, gross. I didn't think about that processing, but yeah, you absolutely could essentially take the blueprints, put them into a memory, and give them to Altian.
Oh, baby.
Don't say I never did anything for
baby.
you. Come
Me?
on, put a
Never.
paw on you. Go. Here you go.
And Altian, yeah, your memory very suddenly gets flashed with these blueprints of this strange refinement device that you have never conceived before. It's huge, it's massive. There is the trick that about 40% of it you can't replicate right now. There is one big thing, though. A good 20% of it is going to be taken care of if you can convince Teffy to give you her sunburn torch. She has a piece of this device.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Oh, baby.
And it's a piece that you don't have the technology to replicate.
I get started immediately.
You will not be able to build this device on this ship.
I get started writing out the blueprints, getting everything
prepared.
I
Your
am
list of
enlisting
supplies.
sailors to grab more of these.
Captain Beereth, how do you feel about that? They're your sailors.
How nice
If they
is he
don't look
asking?
busy.
Oh, yeah, no, that's our
Don't look
penis
busy.
out. Every single time one of the sailors, they say, no, you're going to need to talk to the captain for that, so you find him at the helm.
You need something, Altian.
Yeah, some help. Above your men that aren't too busy.
Pray tell what for?
I need all of the carcasses of those creatures that are currently on board in one place.
Okay, you've got me intrigued. Why?
I can make stuff out of them.
Stuff? Like?
Useful stuff, Captain. You don't know my friend Ultian that well, but I assure you, whatever he's making will be very interesting and useful.
Well, I haven't become captain of this vessel by allowing too many unknown variables around. I would appreciate if you just let me know what you're doing. Can you even do that?
Eventually.
I am beginning to... What are you making?
Armor and weapons.
See, that wasn't so hard, now was it? Sure, go ahead. The captain just wants to know.
There's already explosives on board, so I don't know why he's so concerned suddenly.
This man's literally covered in explosives.
Well, yes, but it leaves
Give a
one
couple
good
men.
reason to question the intent of more explosives being brewed on board. Armor, that's fine.
I'm gonna find myself an empty container of some sort on the ship. I'm sure that there are maybe a box or a barrel that's now empty because it had rations in it or something.
Yeah, easily.
All of the raw materials.
Any materials that can be spared for whatever you're trying to do. They don't give you all of them, because they definitely need materials to repair the ship.
I'm mostly concerned with the metallic obsidian. That is
that
where
stuff,
most
yeah.
of the space full. Yeah.
Yeah, gathering up all that.
If I can get some gunpowder, I'm not going to say no to it.
No, so when you ask for that, they show you that their ammunition's actually all encased. They're all casings. They don't actually have gunpowder. Exposed. They would have to break open their ammunition to get it out.
That's okay.
Their weaponry's more advanced than Iridi's. It's what happens when you spend about 10,000 years at war. Not 10,000, actually, it was 5,000. No, it was 1,000. I'm sorry, I'm getting my time frames really mixed up right now. Ever since Astronaut rose, Andrea was at war with itself. Which was just over 1,000 years ago, yep. Now I'm right on track. Took a moment. While you're doing that, we're gonna skip to the night frame time. Yep, nighttime time frame, there we go. Brain skipped forward. And
what's the date?
Date. We started on 3/7/10.
It should be 4/1/10.
Yes, so it should be 4/1/10 now, because we started on 3/7 and it's only been one day. So 4/1/10. Towards the end of that, Teffy, your door's gonna have a knock on it.
I opened the door,
On the other side
expecting Snozboop.
it's Cinder, holding that book. I finished it. Translating what I could, at least. Good grief, this person's handwriting is awful. You forgot you gave me the book, didn't you?
Genuinely, yeah. Did Teffy give him Nolrin's journal?
He asked for it and you gave it to him. He never gave it back to you. He read it.
Okay, cool. I was wondering where that was. I'd forgotten that I'd given it to you.
Oh, duh. Yeah, sorry. I think she encountered fear.
What do you mean we've encountered fear?
Not us. Nalrin, the author of the journal.
So that squiggle was not about mystery then?
No, the squiggle was about... Here, let me... He flips open the page and gets to a certain section. The Icorns. Stops there and... This sounds like fear to me. He never appears in front of you. He always travels on the side of corners, always appears in the corner of people's visions. They never actually see him. It perpetuates more fear inside them. It's part of his method.
That certainly does make a lot more sense. I was wondering what drove her to madness of that extreme.
You're misplacing some information again. I'm still confident it was mystery that led her to where she was, but I'm pretty sure she encountered fear on one of the islands.
Okay, so the squiggle was mystery,
Yeah,
but
like I
she
said,
encountered fear as well?
Yep. Now you're getting it.
I do have a question while we're at it. How are you able to have a journal? Because when we met and Snosby made that drawing for you, you couldn't touch it because it was on paper.
I don't know how to explain how I work. Certain moods cause certain things. This also is a magical book. What Schnozbook gave me, I'm pretty sure wasn't magical. Things that aren't magical tend to on me pretty quickly, but things that are don't. I mean, look, he lights his hand on fire underneath the book, like, not catching fire.
Let's not try that.
It's gonna be fine. You could throw that thing in a hearth and it won't burn.
Good to know. But I'd
You
still
just thought
would
about
rather
throwing
not
it in a
try
hearth,
it.
didn't you?
I'd still rather not try it, as
Okay.
interesting as that would be.
Magical books. They're the only ones I can read.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Fear was on my side. If we can find that island, I think we should try to find him.
Interesting. I mean, encountering fear does not sound right off the bat like something we'd want to do necessarily, but then again, you're Wrath. Did all of your siblings come up with alternate identities, or is it just a few of you?
Just a few of us. Those of us who wanted to actually, live and have a life. Not manipulating the mortals around us. Enjoying our life with them, as opposed to against them.
That
Life
makes
is
sense.
more acceptable that way.
That makes sense. So does fear have another name that they go by?
Fear doesn't like people.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Yeah, they didn't really get another name. If you do go looking for him, don't try to address him directly. He points at the section that depicts the guy getting cut in half. That's because they saw him. Don't try to actually see him. Just accept that he's in your corner of your eye and don't look. Huh. A lot of us have looking things. Agony makes you forget. Fear cuts you in half.
Good to know. Very, very good information to have. Thank you.
Yep. Anyway, that's what I got. I'm gonna go now. He turns and starts walking towards the door. Opens it and walks out.
Cool. Effie will also leave the friendship room and go sit down in the middle of the deck.
Sit down in the middle of the deck. Alright. Anything else for the night? Okay. Well then, now that we are fully in the archipelago and embraced inside its mists, there are a few things that I should tell you. There is no leaving until it desires to let you go. Even if you try to turn around during that, after the vision that Tevi had, there's no guarantee you would have even left. You could have just been going deeper in. After we're gonna have another 2 days of you just roaming the archipelago. No more islands being spotted. No chances of anything coming around. You realize, Captain Beereth, your compass, any of your mechanisms, even those who can naturally tell what direction is where, have no idea where north, south, east, or west is. The compass just spins, and those of you who can normally tell, even you, BT, it's like a spinning direction. At first you feel north is that way, and then suddenly you feel like it's that way. The signs from the sun around, never clear, you can never see it. The area around you is just light when the sun is up and dark when the sun is down. There is one more thing that's not archipelago apparent, but I want to bring up and mention during this time, Teffy, that piece of paper they have from that on 4/1/10/566, so the day that we're starting this whole concept on, there are 2 lines up in its top left corner.
Vertical lines, horizontal lines,
Vertical
crisscross
lines. Vertical lines. The next day,
How big is the paper? Because I was picturing like a fortune cookie.
it's like a fortune cookie piece of paper, yeah. A little bit bigger, probably. Maybe about twice the size of a fortune cookie piece of paper.
Okay.
The next day, the 2 lines are gone. The day after that, there's 1 line. And there's small lines up in the top left corner. While you're... Gave you some time to write everything down. While you're looking at it with a single line, Philemon comes floating around inside the friendship room.
You got a question?
Yeah, I suppose I do have a question. There are these funny lines appearing on the paper, and I don't know what they mean.
Why don't you ask it?
That makes sense. All right. Paper. What are the lines for?
The line disappears, and you see written, appearing in ink across the piece of paper. For that, asking questions.
See? That's what I meant. You have a question. You've used it now.
Fascinating. Tiffy's going to stare at the paper and just scribble ferociously in her book. Because I am also scribbling ferociously in my book.
Unless anyone has anything intruding, I have one last thing for us for the night. Who wants to roll a d12?
Ooh, want to roll a d12.
Roll a d12.
8.
8. How many pages behind is that now? Oh. On the eve of the beginning of 4-3-10-566. Oh wait, no. Sorry. That one question is at the end of 4-3-10-566. So we're at the beginning of 4-4-10-566 now. My apologies. Yep. You all hear someone call out in front of the ship. Land ho! Very quickly, the engines are shut off and put into reverse to stop the ship, because, well, the visibility here is horrendous. And when you peer at the front of the ship, the word land ho might be a little over the top, because what you see is nothing but bark. The bark of a tree. A massive tree. The biggest tree you have ever seen, even bigger than Philemon's. And off in the distance, all of you swear you can hear the slight buzzing of bees. We are going to finish there for the night, as we arrive at another island. Well, there we go.
Goodness gracious.
You've faced flat wraps. Terrifying things that if you didn't have those electric tricks, they would have been so much worse. Oh boy. Yeah, got lucky with that one quickly. And you're deep in the archipelago. good job, everyone, at getting lost in a place of outer stuff. It's difficult. Hope you're all having fun in this place so far. Enjoying its wildness.
Great stuff.
For the rest of everyone at home, thank you all for being here. We are gonna raid someone. Who are we gonna raid? Where's my mouse? There it is. Alright. Hey! Charmed Fantasy. I believe Old World Charm is what they used to be known by. Let's go say hello to them. We haven't said hello to them for a while. Charmed Fantasy. Well, thank you everyone else here for being here. We love you all very, very much. Hope you had a hoot, and we'll see you next Sunday. Stick around for the raid. Bye.
See you guys.
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles